What is going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden here. What's going on, everyone? I hope we are all doing extremely well. Hope everyone is doing well. That is right. Per popular demand, I promised you guys I would be back for a game stream. And of course, I do lie, but I like to keep my promises in terms of baseball. So for tonight, I got us a very special stream, a very long stream, as a matter in fact. Obviously, the Mets games have been running on for like 5 hours these last week. So I will be with you guys for the whole entire Mets game. I will be watching it live on my end. And then obviously, if you guys watching on your end, or if you just listen to me, I am going to give some play-by-play commentary for the Mets game. It's going to be a great game. Hopefully the Mets take the W. Obviously, postseason chances are they're pretty much fried by now. But we got a great game set up for the New York Mets today. If you are new to the channel, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, drop an LFGM in the chat. We got some great stuff today. Mets are in Milwaukee playing the Milwaukee Brewers. Yes, most likely the season is over, but you know what? I'm still going to come in here. I want to give my play-by-play content. People say I should be an MLB announcer, so hey, I figured why not put it to the test on here. If you guys would like, please feel free to share this stream. Like I said, I will be with you guys for the whole entire game, so maybe we'll get some rages, although, I mean, the season's pretty much over, so my adrenaline is gone. Obviously, Yankees and Red Sox game is going on now, so that's going to be a huge game. So let's get into tonight's game. So tonight we will have Tyler McGill on the bump for the New York Mets, and pretty much leading off in terms. Let's get into this lineup. Leading off for the New York Mets, we will have Brandon Nimmo, the center fielder. Brandon Nimmo is coming back, obviously, from the injury. He's been hitting pretty well back in that leadoff spot. I like what I am seeing in Brandon Nimmo. So Brandon Nimmo will be playing center field, leading off. Batting second, we will have the one and only $341 million man himself, Francisco Lindor, playing shortstop. He will be batting second. Batting third, the second baseman, Javier Baez, who's been hot lately. I've been liking what I've been seeing in Javier Baez. The walks are going up. The strikeouts are going down. He's less of a free swinger, 100%. I really like what I am seeing out of Javier Baez. He's looking good. That's really all we could say. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot, we all know how I feel about Pete Alonso, but obviously I'm not crazy about him batting fourth. But batting fourth will be Pete Alonso, the first baseman. We saw in the Boston series he took a role at DH and then he was playing first base. So we will see how he can get back into the slither of being in the fourth spot. We know in the Boston series he was in the second spot. He did pretty well. Personally, I don't like Alonso hitting in the fourth spot. I like him to get an at bat in the first inning, regardless. So hopefully, Pete Alonso could do pretty well tonight. I'm repping his jersey now. Batting fifth for the New York Mets, we will have the right fielder Michael Conforto. His name has been coming up quite a lot these last couple days with qualifying offers, etc. So we're gonna see what Conforto could do if he could try to show the Mets what he's worth. Batting sixth, we will have the third baseman, Jonathan Villar. We saw he got moved down quite a bit in this lineup when Nimmo was out. And then obviously when J.D. Davis was placed on the bench, who still is, we saw Jonathan Villar was really leading off. Kind of had a little small slump and then kind of, took the turn down back in the lineup. But, he still was a nice bat, still aggressive at the plate. I like it. Good leadoff man. He just needs to be more cognizant on the base paths. So he will be batting sixth. Batting seventh, we will have James McCann, the catcher. Hit pretty solidly in the Boston series. He got a couple line drives, got 2 RBIs. Hopefully he can keep it up. Batting eighth, which is a really big surprise, is to see Jeff McNeil batting eighth. Kind of surprising to see Jeff McNeil batting so below in this lineup. In the final game in the Boston series, I think he went 2 for 4, 3 for 4. He looked really good in the Boston series, in my opinion. We saw what he did with Chris Sale. He pretty much went back to that 2019 self where he gets an 0-2 count and he works with it. And especially on Chris Sale, he has an 0-2 count and he expands it to pretty much a 9-pitch at bat. So that's really what I'm hoping we could see more out of Jeff McNeil. And then following that, pretty much he got a 9-pitch at bat, 0-2 count, which was in Chris Sale's favor, and he just slithered the ball right off the corner of the bat, an opposite field double down the line. So that's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to need to see more in Jeff McNeil. So he'll be batting 8th, and then obviously batting 9th, Tyler McGill, who will be on the bump for the New York Mets. I'm hoping Tyler McGill could be good tonight. Obviously, keep that fastball in sync. Try not to lose command of the strike zone. Be cognizant of the pitch count. And then otherwise, I think McGill should be okay. That's what I'm hoping. So yeah, pretty much 20 minutes till game time. If any of you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel to drop them in the comment section below. We got a lot of great stuff to get into for the New York Mets. We got 10 people in the chat. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We are going to be watching the New York Mets and Milwaukee Brewers game. As I stated, I will repeat myself just in case you guys did not hear me. I know pretty much the season is over for the most part, but you know what? I promised you guys that I would be doing a lot of these games. And then pretty much, and then pretty much, obviously, the season collapsed pretty much. The season collapsed. Tough series, tough season for the Mets. But, I still want to come in here and give my thoughts, my game commentary. The rages, I don't know if it's going to be many rages because I question how much is it really worth at this rate. So yeah, otherwise, if anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns they would like to drop in the comment section below, I would be fine with that. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns relating to the Mets, the wild card standings, I know the Yankees and Red Sox game is on right now, so maybe we'll do a little recap in between innings with what's going on with that. The Phillies are close to the wild card; they're battling with the Pirates, so we're gonna have to see. What this team could do. But we have 11 people in the chat. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I will get to your guys' comments as always. Thirsty, it's hot out. Connor, what's going on? Yeah, keep an eye on the Red Sox. Of course, man. Keep an eye on those Red Sox. Red Sox, Mets just played them, and they got quite a bit of a behind whooping. I did my series recap on them. It was not pretty, never to say the less. So we're going to have to see what the Red Sox could do tonight against the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole is on the bump. I obviously will be going over that in between innings. But Connor, what's going on, man? Mark's here. What's going on? Devin, yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to break my computer. But we'll see how that goes, man. We will see. I'm rocking the Brewers hat. Brewers talk with Hayden. Kind of ironic. They were only in the wild card, and then we all know what happened. But it's a hat, whatever. What's going on? Devin, Kobe, AB, what's going on? Glapos, what's going on? Michael, John, what's going on? Michael says Brewers talk with Hayden. You know it, man. It is Brewers talk with Hayden. Karen, what's going on? YouTube, Kobe, what's going on? Good to see you here. I'm glad you are excited to see the streams. John, appreciate you pumping up the chat as always. Paul, Karen, Kobe, baseball is my air. What's going on? John's rooting for the Red Sox, of course. Ivan Dos, Mr. Cool, Travis. So I think we got pretty much everyone introduced that is here. Like I said, if you guys have any comments throughout the game, as always, don't be shy. Drop them below. I'll give you my best answers I could try. If it's the Mets, Phillies, Blue Jays, Mariners, whatever. Galapagos has our first question on the day, and he is going to ask who will win NL and AL MVP. And that is a great question. Pretty much as we could see, this race is really, really tying up. We know Juan Soto has been having an awesome September. Taking a look at his stats, I mean, if you go to this dude's baseball savant, it's literally 98th percentile and above for everything but outfield jump. Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, sure, he's not the best defensively, but I mean, his offense really makes up for it. So let's look at his stats in like the last 30 days. I think that's a fair margin to make up for. So looking at Alonso's stats for the last 30 games. So the stats for the last 30 games, we'll call that September. He has a slash line of 408, 560, 755, 40 hits, 25 runs, 9 homers, 25 ribbies, 34 walks, 8 strikeouts. That's elite, and 3 stolen bases. Yeah, last 7 games over an 1,000 slugging rate. So Juan Soto is really having himself a nice year. And I think, honestly, it's unfortunate what happened with the Nationals this season. They pretty much just kind of just gave up during the trade deadline. They pretty much got rid of Turner, Scherzer, and then they pretty much said, okay, we're going to go with the rebuild. Kind of interesting because, Trey Turner only had a year left on his contract. So you can make the argument, why didn't they just deal him next year? But, maybe his value was high at this time. So we are going to have to see what goes on with the Nationals ahead. Obviously, the game will be starting very shortly, so hopefully we will get some more people in the chat. As always, love to see you guys in here asking some great questions. Baseball is my air. It says, which Mets prospect in our top 5 will be called up the quickest? It's a good question, man. That is a great question. So as you know, the Mets farm system isn't packed crazily. We don't have too many guys that stand out on the corner of our eyes. I guess you could talk. Pretty much you have Francisco Alvarez, Ronnie Mauricio, Mark Vientos, Brett Beatty. And then, there's a big stepping, from JT Ginn. And then you have your Jalen Palmers. You had your Pete Crows, and obviously we all know what happened. He got traded at the deadline. So it's going to be something. See what this team could do. Who will be called up the quickest? Khalil Lee has pretty much been called up. And then he's the guy. He's like the 27th man guy. He's going to keep getting called up and sent down. So I guess that's really the best guy who's going to be called up the quickest. But out of the big 5, who I think you and I are both thinking of, Alvarez, he's 19, so he's a long way ahead. I don't see him getting called up anytime in the next 2 or 3 to 4 years. He's only 19, so you have to give this dude time. Defensively, he still needs to work in his defensive mechanics, framing, catcher stuff that needs to be worked on. Offensively, he's a beast. He'll hit for power. A great season, no doubt. So I think he's 2 to 4 years away. Brett Beatty is really, this dude's really looking superb. He uses the field. He'll hit for power. He'll hit for opposite field. Great eye discipline at the plate. I'm really liking what I'm seeing in Beatty. Defensively, he's looking pretty sharp. So hopefully he should be called up I'm thinking 2 years. Honestly, he can even be called up next September at the call-up. So that could be something to keep an eye on. Then obviously you got Ronnie Mauricio. Ronnie Mauricio is a guy that I'm not super crazy about, simply enough because he's just shortstop. I don't think this dude has been taking any reps in outfield. It's a possibility with his speed. I think he could definitely play an outfield position. The Mets don't have much outfield depth in the farm system, so it wouldn't hurt. But get him started on it. Why you keep throwing him out at shortstop every day? That was really the big thing that I had. You have a shortstop down for the next 10 years. I don't know if you guys know him. His name is like Francisco Lindor. I think that's his name. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him. Clearly, he is our shortstop for the next 10 years, 11 getting into next season. So I don't know what you're going to do with Mauricio. You have second base potentially locked down with McNeil or Baez. Baez is a whole other topic to be extended, who that's looking like a strong possibility at this rate from 4 to 6 years in terms of Baez. So you have second base out of the picture. Third base, I guess, would be the biggest picture to look at, but they're probably going to make a move this offseason with Correa. I don't think Bryant's going to come here, to be honest. So they're going to look at third base sooner rather than a year or two when he'll get called up. But, you don't want to have a repeat of Jared Kelenic, so I understand why they're holding on to Mauricio longer, because they want to build up his value, kind of like what we didn't do with Kelenic. We traded him away, and then his value built up when he was in the Mariners farm system. So you got to be cognizant of that. You don't want to come off of this pretty much. We're going to have to see, honestly, what the Mets approach is with dealing with Mauricio. I think he's a great dude. He's been hitting bombs, hitting dingers. He's been hitting really well in the farm system. I'm just hoping, honestly hoping he can keep it up, really. That is all I will say. So we got 10 minutes till game time here. I am excited. Let's get this rolling. As you know, I'm going to give some game commentary. So we got a lot of stuff going on. But getting into some of the other games, we could see the Phillies are currently ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1-0 in the bottom of the third. What else is going on? Yankees. Ooh, Yankees are up 6-0, and they're playing at Fenway. So everyone was saying that'd be a big thing. Wow. Okay. That is going to be something. So we're going to have to see what the Mets approaches for this game. And obviously, I think the Yankees, it looks like they're solidifying this game against the Red Sox 6-0. It is the third inning. And the Red Sox, did they give all their offense to us? We'll see. We'll see. Blue Jays are getting ready to play. Rays are currently up against the Marlins in that little nice series. So we're going to have to see what goes on in today's game with the Mets. Like I said, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, all of that great stuff. And we're going to get into all of today's game. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. Marco, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in. Actually, going to take that off. Ruben, what's going on? Nick, Kobe, listen, all I like to do is speak the truth. That is all I try. And Mark's here. And Michael, I will see you later, man. So yeah, obviously, we're going to see what the Mets approach is going into this game. Hopefully, it's a good one. I'm really... You know what? Like I said, and the Brewers are a very interesting team. Brewers are not the best team offensively. The Brewers are coming off of a harsh last couple series. Let's take a look-see at the Brewers. I think they've been getting a little demolished recently. Taking a look-see at the Brewers' schedule. Below my MLB TV. Mets. Hopefully the charger doesn't blow out at the last minute. Yeah, let's take a look-see at how the Brewers have been playing. They've been getting kills, and on the other hand, the Cardinals have been killing it. Cardinals, I think, have a 13-game win spree go on. Cardinals have been playing very nice, and I guess the Mets are kind of responsible for that, unfortunately. The Cardinals won today. But taking a look-see at the Brewers, they're 91-62. They got swept by the Cardinals. They took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. They got swept by 2 games from the Tigers. And that was it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of your last 9. So, yeah, kind of like the Mets situation. But I feel the Brewers are honestly a team that are kind of like the Mets. Hear me out on this, and I think someone said it last stream, and I said it last stream myself. If you look at both of these teams' offensive numbers, they're not that great. The average is hovering around the same, 240, 238. The on-base percentage is hovering around the same rate. OPS is hovering around the same rate. WRC plus, WAR, offensively, of course. It's really the Brewers pitching staff that has made them really effective this season. They have 3 guys contending in Cy Young. Well, maybe 2, Freddie Peralta and Corbin Burns. I don't really think Brandon Woodruff is in that talks anymore. He's still been solid, but I think Peralta and obviously Burns are more ahead in that category. Obviously, you got Josh Hader in the bullpen, who is just lights out. Devin Williams has been having a nice resurgence. I think in August, he had a nice August. We know he was the 2020 Rookie of the Year. He started off the season with a little bit of an oof. I had him on my fantasy league. He did not treat me well, I will tell you that. And he was nice in August. So honestly, we're going to have to see what the Brewers could do ahead. They will be in the playoffs. Whether they'll clinch the division, we'll see. Because 91 wins, but then on the other hand, you have the Cardinals, who are in second place, who have 84 wins. So they're 7 games out. So, the Cardinals are on a 13-game winning spree. So, lucky number 13, right? You have 10 games left in the season, or maybe 11. If the Brewers, if they lose, the next 6 or 7 or 8, and the Cardinals go on a winning spree, it's going to be a really close matchup. But the Brewers, like I said, they're a team that doesn't have the best offense. You look at a lot of these games. 1 run, 2 run, 2, 4, 8, 6, 4, nothing. 3, 4. I mean, you have a couple 10s. 4, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0. So, I mean, this team's offense, I mean, they get the job done. It's kind of like the Mets in the first half. In the Mets first half, our offense wasn't hitting for anything. We were getting 1 or 2 runs on sac flies, or Jacob deGrom was hitting for himself pretty much. And then, you had guys like deGrom going 9 innings, allowing 1 hit and no runs. You had Marcus Stroman going 6 innings, a run, 2 hits. Taijuan Walker going 8.2 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 run. It was a solo home run. So stuff like that is the reason the Mets were really successful in the first half. Their offense wasn't crazy, but I think if we had the pitching, if our pitching in the second half looked like how it did in the first half, we wouldn't even be in playoff contention going into the second half. So we're gonna have to see what goes on with this Mets team as well as this Milwaukee Brewers team. Craig Counsell's been a manager for the Brewers, and I give him props. He's doing a pretty superb job there. So we're gonna have to see what they do. We're approaching game time. I will go over the lineup once again. Leading off, we will have Brandon Nimmo. Batting second, we will have Francisco Lindor. Third, Javier Baez. Fourth, cleanup, Pete Alonso. Fifth, Michael Conforto. Sixth, Jonathan VR. 7, James McCann. 8th, Jeff McNeil. And of course, batting ninth, the pitcher, Tyler McGill. So the Mets will have first licks coming into this game, being the away team. And I mean, pretty much, they're showing it right now, beating the pressure, lowest ERA in the National League this season. The Brewers are third, where the Mets are tied with the Marlins, fourth. Brewers, 3.42 ERA this season. That's really solid. That's really been a partial thing to their success. Seems they're doing some photo thing on the field. Good for them. So yeah, that's been a huge thing for their success this season. You got Jackie Bradley Jr. goofing off back there, whatever. But yeah. All right, so game time will be starting in 3 minutes. Hopefully, I'm not boring you guys. I know we will get into the game shortly, and I will try to give some of my in-game commentary, which I think I'm pretty good at for the most part. So, we will see. We will see. That's all we'll say. Listen, the Rangers aren't really going to be here tonight. I hate to disappoint y'all, but I mean, here's what the Rangers will be here. If the Mets are up like 5-0 and, we go to close it and Diaz gives it up, then I'll probably rage. But for the most part, I'm numb to this already. I don't really see what's the point of getting upset at this rate. All right, Michael, I appreciate it. AB, yep, Yankees are up 6-0. Let's take a look-see at this game. So are they up 6-0? They are, all right. They're looking good, I'll tell you that. Garrett Cole has been on his game today. Yankees, they needed a good start from Garrett Cole. He was coming off a rough patch, and he's getting it. John says, Hayden, what's your favorite baseball app besides the Mets, of course? I have a feeling you're going to say Cubs. To be honest with you, the Cubs hat's okay. I feel it's kind of generic. I'm probably going to go my Montreal Expos hat. I like the design. I like it as the nice red, white, and the nice M for the Montreal with the blue and the red and the white outlining. I really like that Expos hat. That's a nice hat. Brooklyn Dodgers hat back there on the shelf I have is pretty nice. In terms of overall hats, I mean, Marlins hat is pretty nice. Call me nuts, but I kind of like the design. I like the neon color. I like the Marlin. Not many people, pretty much everyone's going to disagree with me on that, but it's honestly a nice hat in my opinion. It does not look like a terrible hat. But we got 12 people in the stream now. So we're going to have to see what goes on with this game tonight. Kyle Gibson has got a hit. What do you know? Kyle Gibson got a hit. So we're going to have to see. Carlos Stanton just hit a 3-run homer, so 6-0 Yankees. Cedric Mullins becomes the first player in Orioles history to hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases. Good to see Mullins get the 30-30 club this season. I mean, he was the biggest part of their season. Orioles didn't really have a good season, and I guess he was kind of the bright side to it. So that's good to see. Obviously, as a Mets fan, I can say there were a lot of unfortunate times this season. So having something like this really does help. So pretty much the Mets will be wearing their gray uniforms tonight. I do like that. Taking a little look-see at the bench tonight. Let's see who we got on the bench. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just wasn't sure if anyone else was called up or sent down. So we're going to have to see what the Mets could pull off tonight. Big game for the Brewers, obviously, not so much for the Mets. Brewers are on a losing spree, and they're trying to get over the humps over it. But pretty much on the bench for the Mets, we'll have J.D. Davis, Luis Guillorme, Tomas Nido, Jose Peraza, who's been activated from the IL. He's been chilling in AAA for a while, and good to see him back. As always, Kevin Pillar and Dominic Smith. Obviously, we are facing a left-handed pitcher, so this is going to be something very nerve-wracking for the Mets. So a little surprising not to see Dom Smith in this lineup. He is one of the best hitters against left-handers, but hey, whatever. Getting into the Brewers defense, Brewers lineup, they got a solid lineup today. Colton Wong leading off, Willie Adames, Christian Yelich, Aviel Garcia, Omar Narvaez. Who else we have in here? Eduardo Escobar, Daniel Vogelbach, Lorenzo Cain, and Lauer. So we're going to see what the Mets can get rocking. Right now, the game is starting, so I will get to your guys' comments, I guess, in between commercial breaks. So let's get right into this game. It is going to be something. Let's go, Mets. Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share this stream with your friends if you can. And let's get rolling. Hopefully the Mets could try to get something. So the first pitch of the game from Lauer to Nimmo will be taken right down the middle, and that'll be a fastball for strike one, and we will be starting off the game on an interesting spot. That is right, Carson. Play ball. So first pitch of the game is a 91-mile-per-hour fastball down the zone. Pitch two will be a slider? Strike two for Brandon Nimmo. So far you see Nimmo has an 0-2 count. Something that Nimmo isn't super big on. We usually see he's a guy who usually gets a count in his favor. So hopefully we could see Nimmo get out of this jam. So that's pitch three. That'll be just off the plate for Narvaez not to be able to frame properly. Kind of same location for the second and third pitch, but that'll be ball three, fastball right down the middle. So obviously Brandon Nimmo been a big attribute to this game, and he hits that one deep. That ball will be off the wall. Nimmo will go two on that. Slider right down the middle. He's going to go three. He's going to charge three, and Brandon Nimmo will lead off with a triple. Brandon Nimmo will hit a nice, sharp triple. Right mid-center, we will say, to the center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. That looked like it was almost out of here. But it somehow just was able to get in. If that ball was maybe hit, 20 to 30 feet more right, that probably would have been a home run. Good start so far with the Mets. Let's see if we could do something with it. Obviously, the Mets runners in scoring position has been something that has been very nerve-wracking this season. So you would hope that Nimmo can get driven in by someone. So let's see what Francisco Lindor could do for him. $341 million man himself, and he will take the first pitch just shy of the strike zone for a fastball right down the middle. So we pretty much see Lauer is pretty much the Mets killer, I guess you could say, with what he has. He's a left-handed pitcher with low velocity and relies on a fastball. We can see this dude has thrown about 5 fastballs this game, and out of, 7 pitches. So that's my code of conduct for the Mets. Fastballs, low velocity, and left-handed pitching pretty much kills the Mets. So we will see what this team can get done already. Nimmo, great leadoff guy. He got some action already. And Lindor will take that one, and he will swing at that one. That'll be a 2-1 count here. Just foul that went off. I didn't know if that hit him or wasn't really paying attention. I don't know what happened there. Okay. We have a dozen people in the chat. LFGM, everyone. That's weird. So he hit that, and then it deflected off of Narvaez's glove, and then went to back. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't a pass ball. Then never mind. Thought that was a pass ball. I was like, why isn't Nimmo running? So yeah, 2-1 count here for Francisco Lindor, and he will take that one just off the zone for ball 3. Nice curveball by Lauer for a 3-1 count. So we hope Lindor, you'd like him to drive in Nimmo, but you'll take a walk. You don't want to set up the double play, but we will take the walk. So obviously, Francisco Lindor, coming off of a interesting 2021 season, he's been looking more promising in the second half, and he will take pitch 5 down the zone for a strike, or just off the end of the zone. But yeah, as I was saying, with Francisco Lindor coming off an interesting season, obviously 2021, the first half hasn't been treating him well, but he's been looking sharp the second half, striking out less, putting the ball more in play. He will take that one, and that'll be hit to the shortstop, and he will be out at first base, but that will get in the run. Francisco Lindor gets the first run of today's game. That'll be a fairly hit ball to the shortstop, Willy Adames, who kind of backhanded that to an extent. Good scoop there. Good way to get over it, throw it to Vogelback to get the scoop, but was able to get the speed of Lindor, but he drives in Brandon Nimmo. So the Mets get on top of this game 1-0. All right, that is what I like to see. Let's go. So next, batting third, we'll have Javier Baez, who's been looking pretty sharp for the Mets so far. Looking pretty sharp. He has reached base safely in 16 games, so he has a 16-game on-base streak. You would like to see him expand that tonight. 421 average during that span. He's been looking promising, hitting for a lot of power, going the other way more, as he will take the second pitch fouled off for a 90-mile-per-hour pitch down the zone for a nice cutter. But yeah, pretty much we've been talking about with Baez. This dude has been looking very sharp. He completely convinced me. I was dumb. I said he's a guy who's going to strike out a lot, make throwing errors, and really not come into clutch. And he's been great for us. He offers so much speed and athleticism on the base pass, which the Mets kind of lack. He will take that just high and in for ball 1, fastball. We're really going to have to see. Karen, I like the uniforms. The Mets uniforms, typical away uniforms, but they're nice. They're suitable uniforms, in my opinion. We know the Red Sox got the okay from MLB that they could wear their yellow City Connect jerseys in the playoffs if they make it. So good to see them. They've been, I think, like 7-1 in those uniforms. So it's been treating them well. What's going on, everyone? I appreciate everyone for tuning in. That's just tuning in now. So 2-2 count here to Javier Baez. We will see what he can get taken with that. Lauer sets the pitch, and that'll be ball 3. Ooh, almost hit Baez there. Down and to the right for ball 3. A fastball again. So we see Lauer. He's a guy who mixes up his pitches every now and then, primarily throws the same pitch 3 to 4 times in a row. He'll throw a secondary pitch and then attack the zone with more fastballs. But I don't know if it's a command thing or if it's just how he rolls. Baez will take that one, and he will foul the one off to the backstop. So 3-2 count here for Javier Baez, working up a 6-pitch at bat. This is something you like to see with the Mets, really working up the pitchers early on. The Brewers bullpen is solid, so, you can't really have the excuse, let's rough up Lauer or whoever's on the bump, and we'll get to their bullpen. Brewers bullpen's pretty solid, so you want to be able to tack on as much runs as early as possible. And Baez will take that one for a strikeout, just high and in to strike out Javier Baez on the fastball. 2 away. And this will bring up Pete Alonso, my boy, Big Meat Pete, coming up to the dish. No one on base, so hopefully maybe Alonso will get a solo home run here. We will see what Alonso can get going here. Had a solid series in Fenway. 2 home runs. He's really been going for power the other way more, so hopefully Alonso could hit a nice home run here to send a good message. Obviously, Alonso plays very well on home rather than he plays very good away rather than at home. So this is something you like to see in Alonso. And Alonso will take that one just down the middle, called strike, just down the middle. That would have been the pitch to swing. He will foul the second one off just outside the zone for strike 2. So 0-2 count here to Alonso. You don't really like to see this. He isn't really a guy that works 0-2 counts well. He's not like Nimmo. Maybe not like McNeil necessarily either. So you would like him to get something set here. A couple nights ago, he did, I think in Boston, he got a home run in an 0-2 count. So maybe he can get something rolling here. And he will take ball 1 as the third pitch. Ball 1 just above the zone. One, two coming by, he will, that hit him? No, just got him off the bat. So that'll be a 1-2 count still. Looked like it hit him, but I'm guessing it hit the barrel of the bat. We got some talks of the Baez contract. Yeah, I'll definitely, we'll see. Depending how the game goes, maybe I'll just go over any commercial break or we will see. Don't worry, I will get to everyone's comments as always. You will take that one, and that'll be hit to Adames. Ground ball, and that will get away. And that will have Alonso reach on an error. What the heck happened there? Alonso reached on a ground ball. He hit that one pretty solidly between shortstop and second base. I mean, the shift was kind of there. Alonso's been a guy who needs to start beating the shift. Adames tries to make a spectacular play, but the accuracy wasn't there. Vogelback isn't that, crazy to make that catch. And he will single on a ball to Willy Adames on a throwing error. So I don't think that is a hit. I would assume that's an error. An E6. That's what I figured. All right, so that'll be an E6. They scored it as a hit on here. But I don't know why that is. So I'm going to call that an E6 as of right now. So we have Alonso on first base with the one and only Michael Conforto coming up to the plate. Conforto's a guy who's been coming in talks a lot, having a rough season. You hope Michael Conforto can get something rolling here. So 0 count for Conforto. He will take the first pitch as a strike on the lower left side of the plate. Nice cutter down the zone. 0-1 count to Michael Conforto. But yeah, what's going on? Chris, John. So Alonso at first with 2 out. Conforto will take that one high and above to the right side for ball 1. So 1-1 count here to Michael Conforto. Obviously Baez is a guy that, I'm really hoping the Mets can get something with him this offseason. Obviously, we saw Francisco Lindor pretty much came out today. And pretty much stated that he would like Baez to be here long term. We know they interviewed Lindor at Fenway Park, and he pretty much just came out and said, "Yeah, of course that's going to happen." Besides the money, regardless of the money, the Mets are going to sign Baez to a long term deal. 2 of them are pretty much BFFs, so I think that we'll have a play in it. My opinion is irrelevant to that, but we're going to have to see. We really are. So a 1-2 count here for Conforto. He will take that just off into the dirt for a 2-2 count. But yeah, obviously, taking a look-see at Baez, he's a guy that, brought something to the Mets that we didn't really necessarily have. Yes, he is a power hitter. Good to have another power hitter on this team because a lot of our guys aren't really power hitters. You have Alonso, and that's really it. Maybe on a good year, Conforto will get 25 to 30 home runs. McNeil isn't really going to hit for power. He's still questionable on what type of hitter he wants to be. Dom Smith isn't going to go crazy with home runs. Jonathan, none of these guys are really going to go crazy for the long barrel. So it's good that you really have something like that. So we see Conforto here working up on a 3-2 count to Lauer. We will see what he can get set. He'll foul the one off again. 6 pitch at bat so far for Conforto. You like to see that. But yeah, obviously Baez, like I said, he's a guy who brings speed, athleticism to this team. He'll steal you bases. Something that, pretty much it was only VR, and he was pretty much getting picked off every time he was on the base. So he wasn't able to steal bases. And then you had Lindor stealing bases. No one else on this team was stealing bases. The approach in the first half just was not relevant. And we will see Conforto will take a ball there to a walk. So we will have 2 on and 2 out for Lauer. Lauer getting into a little bit of a jam for Jonathan VR coming up. Yeah, pretty much obviously Baez is a guy that I really am hoping he would stay around with this team. Originally, when he first came here, I wasn't really crazy about him. I said, hey, he's a guy who's gonna hit for a low average, not get on base much, strike out a lot, barely walk, hit a home run every 10 at bats, and pretty much just not really be clutch for us. He's been hitting for power. He's been hitting the other way for power. He's been hitting the other way for light contact. He's been using the field. His defense has been pretty solid. Yeah, he'll make some throwing errors, but nothing crazy. It did cost us one game. But so far he's been looking solid. And if, we could see a 2018 half self out of him, I would really like to lock this dude up. I really would. And you got to. We pretty much, we traded away a top 5 prospect in our farm system for him. So, that would look terrible, trading away a top 5 prospect for a year rental and then Trevor Williams. That doesn't look good. So, yeah, we're going to have to see. We're really going to have to see what goes on for the Mets and Javi Baez. I know in the chat, Devin's saying 4 years, 150. Yeah, we know that the time frame was ranging from 4 to 6 years. I don't think it's going to be 10 years. How old is Baez? Taking a look-see. Baez, I don't think he's that old. He's what, like 20, 28? Oh, okay, it makes sense. So Baez is 28, so it makes sense you're going to lock him up for a 4 6-year deal. It depends how much you want. Devin says 150, where John's saying 37.5 per year. So yeah, John, I guess it just depends how many years you're going to give him. I guess just times that for 4 to 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. And Sango is going to say 200 million. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be around the 200 million range. Think of the next CBA. They're going to get rid of all this luxury cap nonsense, financial stuff. I'm not concerned about that now. They're going to get rid of that. So it's going to come to the question with Carlos Correa, obviously. So we're going to see. So getting back to the game, Jonathan VR has a 3-1 count working in his favor. So we see Lauer's getting a little bit of a jam potentially. So we will see what he can get. Obviously, you would like to get more than 1 run in this inning. Mets are a team that struggle with runners in scoring position, and our 1 run so far is pretty much kind of a cheap run, I guess. So 3-run count here to Jonathan VR. VR will take that one the other way. And obviously, what the heck? VR will hit a ground ball to the right side. And DeSarcina does not send Alonso on that. All right. Interesting. Obviously, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. The speed of Alonso versus the arm of Avisal Garcia, it's a pretty deadly arm. So I will probably agree with DeSarcina on this. So we have the bases loaded. VR hits a single to the other way to Avisal Garcia to advance everyone up. Alonso at third, Conforto at second, and VR at first. So bases loaded for the Mets for the one and only James McCann, guy who has not been very good in situations with runners on, been very much into a double play ground out type of guy. So you would like McCann to really get out of that. We have James McCann coming up to the dish. We will see what he could do. He has not been looking too promising for this Mets team this season. So James McCann. So Lauer sets the pitch. First pitch to McCann will be taken right down the middle into the zone, curveball, right side of the zone, we'll call it. So 0-1 count to McCann. Obviously, James McCann, a guy who has not been not even clutch, but has not been doing much with the bases loaded. So you would like him to really start to be working with the bases loaded. Season pretty much being over, try to boost up those stats. Why not? McCann will take that into the dirt, ball 1. So 1-1 count here to James McCann. But yeah, obviously, Baez, we're going to have to look at what goes on with Baez this offseason. There's a lot of guys. Personally, I wasn't super happy when we first signed Baez. My mentality was that we should have waited. Overall, a lot of people called me crazy, and I was the type of person that wanted to wait to sign a shortstop. I felt shortstop was we already had shortstop kind of locked down for the most part. I mean, regardless of Lindor, that's why when we got Lindor, I was kind of surprised. I was like, shortstop, we have that role addressed. I thought we would go for more outfield, third base. Listen, Lindor is great, but at the time I was like, interesting. So 1-2 count here to James McCann. He'll probably be the rally killer. Try to keep a good at bat here. Coming and 1-2 count, and McCann will foul that one off into the first base dugout. Sago, I really think Correa could potentially be a guy the Mets look at. I have to do some more research. Obviously, as a player, this dude would be awesome. You could throw him at third base. It's not a big deal. He played shortstop. You could throw him at third base. It's really not that much. If it's a 10-foot difference. He has the range for it. He has a cannon of an arm. Turning double plays in Houston, he'll be on second base. Throw to Yuli Gurriel at first. He'll throw 98 miles per hour to turn a double play. Like, who does that? That's nuts. And McCann will take that for strike 3 up in the zone, fastball in the zone, and McCann will strike out. So the Mets will strand 3 runners on, 2 in scoring position, and bases loaded. So interesting start for the Mets so far, but they were able to get some action just now against Lauer. They were able to work him up. A walk, a run, and 2 hits. Great to see Nimmo get it off with the triple, provide himself a run. Obviously, Francisco Lindor had an RBI ground out, and then obviously Alonso had that E6 to get him on base. Conforto walked. VR had a nice hit the other way. Of course, with the speed of Alonso, G. Sarcina does not send him. And then James McCann comes up and pretty much screws everything up once again. So, yeah, obviously Correa is a guy that I think the Mets will definitely target. I just think it comes down to not so much how much. I mean, I think realistically you would clearly give this dude $200 million also. This dude is an all-star. Defensively, he's solid. Offensively, he'll hit for some power. He'll hit the ball the other way. He'll steal some bags for you. In my opinion, Correa could be a great offensive piece to this team. So, yeah, we will see. So, pretty much we will see what Tyler McGill can get on the bump for the New York Mets. He's coming off some if he starts, that ERA has boosted up quite a bit. His last 7 games, I mean, he's really been pitching more. I mean, 80 pitches so far this season for him. That's the most pretty much in his career, considering the minors. So McGill's been really worked up. I mean, his last 7 appearances, 2-3 slash line, 6.46 ERA. I mean, 30 innings, 37 hits, 22 runs, 9 walks, 37 strikeouts, 150 whip. So, I mean, he doesn't walk many guys. He strikes out a lot of guys, so you like to see that ratio. But it gets a little worrisome, I'm not going to lie. Eric, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning into the stream. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I think some of you guys were talking about in the comment section below. Correa, I think, would be a great asset to this team. I mean, so Tyler McGill, let's see what you got, man. I will throw up this. I did forget to throw that up. My apologies. Game day. So we will throw this up. See how we can play with it. Nah, that's too small. And that's kind of annoying. All right, so we'll leave it like this for now. Hopefully it's not too bad. So we will see the first pitch to McGill will be taken right down the zone for strike 1. So not bad. First pitch right down the zone for strike 1, and it pretty much spoils it on here. Obviously, I'm in Florida, so I watch MLB TV, so I'm a little bit behind in this. Hopefully it doesn't spoil it too much. He will take that pitch just high. 2-2 count here for Tyler McGill against Colton Wong. Colton Wong has been a nice addition for the Brewers this season. No doubt about it. He's really been, whether it's clutch, he's been defensively great, offensively great. Colton Wong has been a nice asset for this Brewers team. And then Willie Adames, of course, on deck. Adames has been a guy who, I mean, the Brewers traded away, and I mean for two pitching arms. You always say, hey, the Rays always like to get good deals, but I question who won this trade, the Rays or the Brewers. So we see McGill has a full count already here to Colton Wong. You would like McGill, who's coming off a couple rough outings, to really get on this innings clear. Wong will take that one hit deep. Nimmo and Conforto will go back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Colton Wong moonshots that one for the first run of the game, his 14th of the season. He hits that one to right center. Oof. So Colton Wong, a guy who is not crazy for power, hit a home run against McGill. I don't know, a little worrisome. That's all I'm going to say. Ugh. So McGill will see if he could try to turn it around against the kind of red-hot Willie Adames. He will take that as a ball. Zach, not cool. Not cool YouTube. What's going on? He says, with all these hats, it seems it's everything but Met. Yeah, it's Brewers talk with Hayden, Phillies talk with Hayden, Reds talk with Hayden, Angels talk with Hayden, whatever you got, man. Who knows? Maybe I'll be Royals talk with Hayden one day. We'll see. Devin, Colton Wong hit a solo shot to right center. 14th home run of the year, tie ball game. Brewers are something. Good to see the Phillies are losing. That's always a benefit. And then obviously Mark asks a good question. Should the Mets limit McGill's pitch count? And honestly, I think that's going to be up to something realistically taken to be looked at. McGill is a guy who is in the minor leagues, was a guy who only really threw 50, 60, 70 innings a year. And I mean, he exceeded that way now. I think he's at 90 to 80 now. So it's going to be a question for McGill, kind of like the thing with Peterson that we were worrying. So we'll see. So a 2-2 count here to Willie Adames. We'll take that one just off the zone by James McCann. We will have a full count here. Obviously, McGill's been a guy who, I mean, they're talking about he's been giving up the long ball a lot. That has been something that's been very difficult for him. And that hasn't really been an issue for him. So it's surprising. It sucks to see him started now. 6th pitch of the at-bat will be a foul ball to the first base side. Full count here to Willie Adames. He would like McGill to try to get out of this inning for a clean start. Pretty much the well-known thing with the Mets pitching staff, especially Carrasco, is, these guys suck in the first inning and then they pitch a perfect game regardless. And Adames will hit that one deep to Conforto. Conforto will go back to the warning track, and he will recover that to get the first out of the game. Okay, good. That ball off the bat did not look good. Ooh, all right, so one away, and we will see what Christian Yelich, the former reigning 2018 MVP, could do. He's been having a rough season, batting .242, OPS is .716. Yelich has not been looking like himself. That's been tough. His name is Tyler. Yeah, it's spelled with an O. They were talking. Trust me, his first appearance, they were talking about that for like 20 minutes. He has a brother named Trevor McGill, I think is his name, who pitches in the Cubs staff. We have Christian Yelich up here. Rough season for him. There's a lot of issues with this guy ahead. He will take that one. Strike right down the right side of the strike zone. McGill sets the pitch. That'll be ball one. So, or 2-1 count here for Christian Yelich from McGill. So McGill, you would like him to really try to get out of this first inning. We know his pitch count is probably going to be like 30 when getting out of this inning. But then pretty much what we've been seeing, he's been spending so much time with Carrasco. He'll get into this start, and then he'll be terrible the first inning, and then he'll pitch a perfect game from the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And he'll get no offensive help. So it's been a thing with the Mets. Yelich will foul that one back. 2-2 count here to Christian Yelich. Yeah, John. I mean, this has been, like I said, this has been something that McGill has been pretty much been going on with the last couple of appearances, spending way too much time with Carrasco. McGill sets the pitch, and that'll be fouled off once again. So you see Yelich. This is what Yelich has been doing a lot this season. He's been having a lot of long at-bats. 7, 8, 9, 10 pitch at-bats. So he's been fouling the ball off a lot. He's getting these pitches. He's just swinging too early or a second late. You see Miguel. Miguel's pounding the zone with his fastball and changeup. So, that would be a nice slider put-away pitch. Miguel sets the pitch. Ooh, that was almost a strike. Could have been a strike, but called a ball by the home plate umpire. Full count here to Christian Yelich. So you would like to throw the slider here. The slider is obviously Tyler McGill's put-away pitch. So the slider here would be very nice. He will take that one just off the zone, almost in the dirt for McCann to catch. Ball 4, Yelich on, 1 out. So now you have the option to turn a double play here. You have Avisal Garcia coming up. He's been pretty nasty for the Brewers organization this season. He's been very effective for them. So we will see. A double play would be nice. He has some nice speed, and you got Yelich on first too. So be mindful of him. If he could potentially be stealing, but nice season for Garcia. 29 homers, 84 RBIs. That's I would have not expected that out of this dude this season. I don't know why I was ever a fan of Bellinger or Yelich. I didn't dislike them, but seeing them struggle is weird. Yeah, it really is. Seeing a lot of, former MVPs just struggle a season sucks. With what happened with Yelich was he will ground that one to VR, to second, and Alonso will not grab that. Oh, no, what happened there? I just have to process that. Baez, what was that, dude? Uh-oh. That was not good. Avisal Garcia grounds out. First pitch swinging to VR. He scoops that one to Baez, and Baez rips that one. Yeah, that was not on Alonso. That was on Baez. Throws that one way off the first base, way off first base for Alonso to chase. He can't get that one. That did not go in the dugout, so Garcia will remain at first. So we have 2 errors. E6 is already in this game. So we will have Omar Narvaez coming up for the Brewers. Zach, not cool, YouTube. It sucks really to see. These guys struggle. Bellinger, I think Bellinger really had the story. I think it was honestly the surgery really got to him. And then I think simply enough, he has really such a long swing that, we see Bellinger swing. His swing is so long. How many times Bellinger hit so many foul balls? I constantly see 0-2 counts in this dude. And, fouls the ball off a lot. Not like Rizzo, where, Rizzo's a foul ball home run king. Bellinger could be in that category soon. He has such a long swing. I think the elbow surgery really messed him up. And he just hasn't been himself since. Narvaez will take that one foul. 0-2 count here to McGill. Yeah, I don't think McGill's tipping his pitches. We know that was something that was going on with a lot of this Mets rotation this season. Come on, McGill. All right, thank you for tuning in, Zach. I'll see you soon, man. Kobe says, how's his brother Trevor? Yeah, during commercial, I'll look up his brother Trevor. I don't think he's anything crazy, but all right, so we got an 0-2 count here to Omar Narvaez. So let's see what McGill could do. 24 pitch count in the first inning. Yikes, you don't like to see it, but it's nothing new with Tyler McGill. So let's see. He will take that one just off the zone. Change up, ball one. So, yeah, I mean, we've been seeing McGill has not been using that slider as the put-away pitch, and that was kind of helping him his first couple games, so I don't know what's going on. Action Jackson, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in. Mr. Cool, Hayden, what's going on? I'll be listening, just can't chat. No worries, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Dropping a comment saying what's up. So 1-2 count here to Tyler McGill. Let's see what he can get going. You like to throw the slider on the put-away pitch. And he did. That's what I... Rounds one away on the slider. Let's go. So McGill gets out of that inning. Not the freshest inning for him, obviously. Gave up a solo home run, obviously, to the leadoff man. You don't like to see that. It's Colton Wong for his 14th of the season. You had an E6 on Javier Baez. Tie ball game here. End of the first. Mets will be going into the second inning. So let's see what can get rolling. I'm going to Google Trevor McGill. I'm curious to see how he is. So Trevor McGill was born in Long. Yeah. First starts, 20 innings pitched, 31 hits, 22 runs. Yikes. Yeah, this dude is not too good. He has more runs given up than innings pitched. Yikes. And hits are double than that. Yeah, John, McGill does have a nice slider. Tyler McGill, at least. And that's been his good put-away pitch. And that's why, like, when he was pitching to Garcia, I'm like, use the slider, dude. You have an 0-2 count. Use it. I mean, I don't know if that's a simple, rookie mistake, but use the slider. It's your put-away pitch. All right. So going into this inning, we will have the meat of the order for the Mets lineup, as we could see. Jeff McNeil in the A spot. I don't know why that is. McNeil has been hitting pretty nice. He's been showing old signs of himself. Probably some lefty-on-lefty BS that Rojas does. So McNeil, McGill, and Nimmo once again. You hope the Mets could try to get something going. They're going to need to. They really are going to need to if this team wants to do something ahead. But yeah, pretty much looking at Trevor McGill, he doesn't look like super great. I mean, he's in the Cubs, 1-2, 9.30 ERA, 20 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts. Yeah, I mean, this dude has more runs given up in innings pitched, so that doesn't look too good on his behalf. He got creamed his last start. Yeesh. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikes. Yikes. Oh, well. As long as Trevor doesn't do that, I don't care. Or Tyler doesn't do that, I don't care. All right, so I'll be switching to my computer to watch the game, actually. So I will be looking at your guys' comments on the screen.
Nice.
All right.
Home plate up.
Whoops. So Jeff McNeil will be leading off for the Mets. We will see what he can get rolling, and he will take that first pitch just below the strike zone. All right. Let's see what McNeil can get rolling tonight. So 1-0 count here to Jeff McNeil. He's really been choking up on that bat we've been noticing. And he will take that 92 off the right side of the zone. Strike one. So 1-2 counting to McNeil. But yeah, McNeil's been really choking up on the bat. Been showing a lot of different signs. Trying to figure out what type of hitter he is, obviously. And, just get out of his slump. He's really been looking different with the bat. So 2-1 count here. Oh, that ball was close. Oh, and that goes way past Lauer. That's funny. That ball was close. That cutter. Yeah, nah, who's umpiring tonight? This is not like that great. I mean, it's arguably ball 4 for McNeil. I don't know what that was. McNeil does not like the call on that, and I don't blame him. Karen, I appreciate it. Zach, good to have you back, buddy. McNeil will take that. He will take that one. Grounds out to the shortstop, Willie Adames, who will throw that to Vogelback to retire McNeil. So, I mean, pretty much, they're showing stats. The Brewers pitching staff, look how elite it is. They have the second highest ground ball rate, 46%, the second highest whiff rate at 29%. And then in terms of, so I mean, that really shows you how solid this Brewers pitching staff has been for them this season. So 1 away for Lauer in the second with the pitcher, Tyler McGill, coming up. I believe he does have 1 hit in his career, or 2 hits. I think they were both doubles. One at Nationals Park and I think one at Citi Field last week. He will take that pitch, just arguably strike, but that was a ball, fastball for ball 1. Same pitch, same location, but other side of the zone where McNeil's pitch hit that arguably should have been ball 4, but whatever. Take that, ball 2. So 2-0 count here to Tyler McGill. Where should McNeil play? Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing because McNeil, arguably, as we all know, is a natural second baseman. McNeil is a guy who plays well at second base. He is a guy who has played at second base for all of his career. In the minor leagues, he said that he sees the ball come off the bat much better. And that'll be a 2-2 count here to McGill. McNeil's a guy who plays better at second base overall. He's defensively, he plays really good at second base. He is arguably a Gold Glove contender. He said that he feels that he sees the ball come off the bat much better on the right side of the field, which was arguably when he was a utility man last year. That's why he didn't like playing third base. I mean, OAA at third base, that's a small sample size. I mean, his OAA and defensive run saved in left field wasn't much better. But point is, I don't think this dude's gonna be playing right field with that arm. You throw him in left because he has a weak arm. He's a second baseman. Dom Smith, but not a second baseman. We're going to have to see what McNeil's goals are. Obviously, I would prefer McNeil to play second base and Baez to play third base. I think same thing for Baez. I think he has the range to an extent, and he has the accuracy. First pitch to Nimmo here. That ball will be driven deep. Yelich goes to the warning track, and he will catch that one on the warning track. So a 1-2-3 inning here. Quick 1-2-3 inning here for Lauer. Nimmo swinging on the first pitch. Wow, that ball looked gone off the bat, if you ask me. But Yelich was able to locate it back on the warning track to an extent to get out Nimmo. So, we will see what McGill can get in round 2 in the second inning against the Milwaukee Brewers. Leading off, we will have Eduardo Escobar, Daniel Vogelback, and Lorenzo Cain, the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters here. So let's take a look-see. Eduardo Escobar, new acquisition from the Brewers at the trade deadline, been solid. Daniel Vogelback, new acquisition from the Brewers, from the Blue Jays, been solid. And Lorenzo Cain, great defensive outfielder. So what was the question I was asked? Where should McNeil play? I mean, like I said, McNeil's a guy who plays much better at second base. He said that he sees the ball come off the bat much better at second base. He's arguably a Gold Glove candidate at second base. I mean, him and Lindor would be great double play partners. I mean, I don't see the whole issue. I mean, we talk about chemistry. Well, then having, Baez come in and, Lindor and McNeil weren't really on good terms. We know how that whole rat nonsense, whatever it was, back in, I think, May or June or whenever it was, that happened. So then you take McNeil out of the lineup and then you start to bench him and then you get Baez, Lindor's friend, to take over McNeil's spot. And then you just throw him as a bench guy or out in the outfield and you throw him in left field, which is pretty much the worst position in baseball, I guess. So I just don't think that puts McNeil on good terms with the team. And arguably, like I said, I would like Baez to be a team player here. I mean, I would like him to play third base, and then you have McNeil at second. I arguably think that works. So, yeah, we're going to have to take a look-see. But looks like a nice night in Milwaukee. Never been there, but I always wanted to go there. Looks like a gorgeous night outside of American Family Field. They did update the name of that, which I was not really aware of that. Everyone kept saying, Hayden, it's not called Miller Park, and it's American Family Field. I was like, okay. So let's see what McGill can get rolling in the second inning, and he will get roughed up. Just the first pitch of the at-bat by Eduardo Escobar. McGill will throw a fastball right below the strike zone, and Eduardo Escobar will hit that one to left field sharply. Line drive to McNeil to scoop in and throw in. So we will have one on and nobody out already for Tyler McGill. So now Daniel Vogelback, who is an absolute freaking unit, will be coming up. So let's see what this dude could do. We know they're showing some tattoo that McGill has of a turtle or tortoise. Very fascinating. And then Vogelback will hit that one up the middle. Nimmo will field that. That'll put runners on first and second already. First pitch, back-to-back hits by Eduardo Escobar and Daniel Vogelback. Both back-to-back on fastball and changeup. Yeah, that's what it said. Tough to see. So we will see. Can the Mets try to get out of this? Jam? McGill is not looking too sharp so far. Elaine says the Mets need to get Correa, Marte, Freeman, Greinke, Nolan Arenado, Kershaw, Gausman, Bryan, and Posey. Yeah, that's quite a lot. I mean, that is quite a lot. Yeah, I'll go over that during the commercial break in case something happens here. So, yeah, I'll go over that during the commercial break because that's a mouthful of players. Zach says, I understand how McNeil feels because he plays second and he also has been good at it. Yeah, exactly. But left is hard. Left is the hardest for me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not really the best outfielder. Leg mechanics, locating the ball. I mean, you know, the first second you take as an outfielder pretty much determines it. That'll be hit to third, to second. And they didn't go for the triple play? What happened? Okay, that was weird. All right, Mets didn't go for the triple play there. I don't know what that was about. Okay. So Lorenzo Cain will hit a ball on the line to Jonathan Villar, who will step on third, throw to second to Baez, and they won't even make an attempt at first. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I guess you're not going to get a triple play every single time. But that would be what a triple play looks like, in my opinion. So, all right, 1 out here, or 2 outs here for the Mets. That double play was very big for them, able to get them out of that little jam for Eric Lara, the pitcher. So that really works out there. So McGill should hopefully be able to get out of this inning unscathed. First pitch will be taken just below the strike zone, but home plate umpire will call that a strike. Lara will take that one, fouled off, 0-2 count. So 0-2 count here to Lauer. Let's see what he can get going. Nope, slider will not work on that put-away pitch. I mean, it's a pitcher, so I don't really think they're going to be swinging it much. All right, let's see what the Mets can get rolling. You get out of this inning with a nice double play to really need something. Strand runner at first. That'd be solid. I mean, you'd be getting the top of the Brewers lineup going into the third if McGill can get out of this. So let's see what McGill can get rolling. And he will hit that one to Lindor, to Baez, to get out Kane at second base. Mets get out of the tough inning. Brewers were getting aggressive, first pitch swinging from back-to-back hits on Eduardo Escobar and Daniel Vogelbach, but Lorenzo Cain hits a ground ball to VR to turn a double play to get 2 outs to prevent the runners to be in scoring position. So let's see what the Mets can get rolling in the bottom of the second inning with Lindor, Baez, and Alonso leading off for the Mets. So pretty much what Alan said. Mets need to get Correa. I mean, I could agree with where you're coming from, Correa. So I'm assuming you're talking about Starling Marte. You got Freddie Freeman. You got Zach Greinke. So, I mean, personally, I think that's way too much. I mean, obviously, you could pick from that. Starting off with Correa, I guess we'll go in order here. Correa, I'm down to that. Hopefully, you did hear my spiel about that. Starling Marte, outfield, solid, I guess. I just don't think there's any room for him. I mean, you have a solidified center fielder, Brandon Nimmo, locked down. Unless you throw Nimmo in the corners, I guess you could see Marte there. I mean, he'll be a guy who could steal at least 40 bags a season for the Mets, something the Mets lack. Freeman, yeah, I know you're joking, but I'm going to go over it. Freeman, personally, I think the Braves are going to extend Freeman. Greinke's nice. I mean, honestly, I know you said you were joking, but Greinke, I think, could be a realistic choice. Okay, whatever. It may sound like a Wilpon move. But realistically, I think he could be a solid 4th, 5th end starter in this rotation. He doesn't have what he crazily had in the past, but I mean, let's see how Greinke's been this year. I know the long ball has been a real problem with him this season. I know, yeah, he's have some IL stints. He's been on and off. I mean, he's been giving up the long ball a bit, but he still has some stuff in him. Arenado, you'll see Arenado's probably going to stay in St. Louis. Great ballpark to make a career. Kershaw is probably going to stay in LA. Gosman and Bryant are going to stay in San Francisco. I mean, you know, you look at San Francisco. I mean, they're a veteran core. I mean, you have Brandon Belt, Crawford, Posey, and then you really and then Longoria, and then you really only have what young core there? Yastrzemski. And then you got a nice rotation, and that's it. So I think signing Bryant, who's like 28, 29, that's in prime age, that sets up San Francisco for a really good future. And it's crazy because, I mean, you look at what Gabe Kapler did to this team. He arguably had a better lineup in Philly than he did in San Francisco. I mean, you look at the Giants. On paper, this lineup doesn't look like it's going to do anything. I mean, they're going to bat 230, 240, but then they'll drive in like 30 runners. It's crazy. And then, yeah, Posey, obviously, yeah. What's the news on DeGrom, says Eric. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much with DeGrom, it's pretty much kind of over for the most part. Pretty confusing with what happened. First, it was a UCL tear, then it was partially torn, then it was inflammation, then it was fixed, which it doesn't get fixed in 2 weeks. So obviously, we know it's the velocity increase there, so we'll have to see how that can go. But to get into this inning, Lindor will take the first pitch down the zone for a strike. So 1-0 count here to Lindor. He will take that one just off the plate for a 1-1 count to Francisco Lindor, who been coming back a little. He's been hitting the ball a little bit better, striking out less. And Lindor hits that one to center, and that'll be caught on the warning track by Lorenzo Cain. Ooh, that ball looked like it was gone. Damn, that ball looked like it was hit sharp. Yikes. All right, let's see what the Mets can get rolling. I mean, we've been seeing this a lot with the Mets this season. They hit the ball well. I mean, the exit velocity, I mean, the launch angle, it's there. It just dies out on the warning track. I mean, I'm tired of hearing flies out to center fielder sharply. You know, it's the same thing with the Mets we've been hearing all season. They're showing some Polish sausage. Okay, very interesting. So now we will have Javier Baez, and he will take a huge rip at that one for the first pitch down the zone, and he will not get their foul tip for strike one. Pitch two, Baez will just get a tip of that off the end of the plate, strike two. So you're looking at some free swinging Baez here. I don't like that. Already has one strikeout on today. struck out in the first inning. Has an 0-2 count on 2 pitches that arguably should have been kept a ball, but let's see. Lauer sets the pitch. Baez will leave. He will leave that one off. Good eye. Looked like he was going to swing at that, but had some composure. 1-2 count here. So Lauer pounding the zone with fastballs. You'll take that one. Strike 3. Struck out Baez. Pitch down the middle. Caught staring at that. Funny, you swing at the first 3 pitches that were way off the zone. Balls. And, look what happens there. Baez, listen, we're not trying to hit home runs here. Just get on base. You got Alonso behind you. So let's see what Pete Alonso can get rolling. Guy who Alonso, we all know how I feel about Alonso on the channel. Alonso has been awesome. So Alonso up at the plate. Already has a 1-0 count to him. 0-1 on the day. He did reach on an error, an E6 by the second baseman. So we will see what Alonso can get rolling, and he will leave that one off in the dirt. 79-mile-per-hour pitch. Curve in the dirt. Good eye, Alonso. That was something Alonso probably would have swung at in 2019, just knowing the Mets. 1-1 count. Alonso hits that one, but that'll be hit to the second baseman, Cone Wong, on the shift, and that'll get out Alonso to get out of this third inning nice, quickly, and swiftly. So let's see. Mets will be going into the bottom of the third with the Brewers lineup going in. You have the top of the Brewers lineup going in. So let's see. I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Yeah. That's the agenda with Baez. That's the agenda. Yeah, Mark's right. He's a power hitter, but he swings at everything. That's true. Baez used to be a really good player. In 2018, he finished second in the MVP voting in the NL. He just, has taken a big step back since then. So we're going to have to see what goes ahead for Baez and the Mets. But please, everyone, if you can, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications. Let's try to get more baseball fans into the stream. Find the channel, that great stuff. We're having a great dialect in the chat. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please don't feel free to be nervous. Don't hold back. Drop them. I'm not perfect, but I'll try the best to answer them. Otherwise we're going to see what can go on with the Mets today. It's a close game. I could easily see this being another one-run game, just knowing the Mets and just how the Mets roll. We're going to have to see how that goes tonight for the Mets. So, like I said, Tyler McGill has been pitching solidly tonight. He got out of 2 innings, got into a jam in both of them, but was able to get out of that with some good defense. And that's been the thing for McGill is, trust your defense. Throw a ball down the middle. Hopefully, you pray it's a ground ball and your defense is able to turn a double play or fielder's choice or something. So you got to start going for those more, in my opinion. Obviously, taking a look at tomorrow's starters for Chill and Carlos Cookie Carrasco. So Miguel sits the first pitch, and that'll be taken just outside the zone for ball 1, fastball to lead things off. We battled. And once again, McGill, he seems a little fatigued on that changeup. He looked a little tired throwing that. Uh-oh. A little tired, in my opinion, on that. 2-0 count here to Tyler McGill, to Colton Wong. Takes that, and Colton Wong rips that, but that is way foul. That ball was ripped into the third deck. Yeesh. Foul ball. A fan will catch that. He's excited he got that. That ball was ripped. Yeesh. Two 2-1 count here. Let's see. See if McGill can try to get something going here. Just high. Ball 3. Losing command of the plate. Off-speed command has been something that he's been struggling with his last couple appearances. And it's been struggling him. Oh, and that ball will be taken way off the plate for ball 4 to Colton Wong. So McGill's struggling. McGill is struggling. Seems to be pretty exhausted from the first inning, but this dude's used to high pitch counts, so that's what I don't understand. So let's see what he can get going against Willy Adames. 0-1 on the day. He's been a guy who's been pretty nice for Milwaukee. Chilled out a little bit, but he still gets the job done. McGill will throw that one to first to try to pick off. Nope. Will not be able to pick off Wong. So let's see. The first pitch to Adames will be another pickoff attempt once again. So back-to-back pickoff attempts. Colton Wong is obviously a guy that will be dangerous for speed. Obviously, if you're McGill, you don't want another guy in runners in scoring position. You had back-to-back innings where you had back-to-back runners in scoring position. So you want to be able to get out of this inning cleanly. That is the goal. So we will see. Obviously, McGill's a little nervous by Colton Wong at first base. You could tell. He will take that pitch. And Adames hits that one deep. Nimmo will go back to the wall. And that ball will be gone. Home run. Willy Adames hits that one to center. A 2-run homer. 23rd on the season. What else is new? Home run, 23rd on the season. That ball was hit. What else is new? So a 3-1 ball game here for the Mets. McGill has not been looking sharp his last couple appearances. He got a barrel on that one, took that one to center. That was gone off the bat. Got me a little excited for a moment when you see Nimmo getting ready to try to rob that. He looked like he was going to jump over the wall for that, but not able to do anything. So McGill will take that first pitch to Yelich once again off the plate. His off-speed command does not look present, so that has been something McGill has been struggling with. But usually he's able to get his composure. He's a very mature player, it seems. And Yelich hits that one deep. Nimmo will go back on that one, and that ball is gone once again. Christian Yelich, who is in a slump, hits a fucking home run against Tyler McGill. What are we doing? Dude, what are we doing? That was like his first home run, 8th home run in the season. Seriously? McGill, you're out. What are we doing? Come on. Launch line glove, 104.7. Jeez. What are you throwing to them? Meatballs? Come on. What the hell? And, it's not like they're hit directly to left or right. These balls are being hit like dead center, the deepest parts of the ballpark. Like, what are we doing? And, it's crazy because, you've seen with McGill, like his off-speed command, hasn't been there in certain situations, but he's a very mature and, stable player. He's able to have composure and get out of these jams that he really gets in. Everyone says, oh, he has a 42 pitch count in the third inning and he doesn't even have an out. McGill's had 50 pitch counts in 2 innings and he'll go 7 innings, 100 pitches. Pitch count isn't really the thing with him because then he'll have a, 1 inning where he'll give up three pitches and it'll be 3 outs, or four pitches, 3 outs. So I'm not concerned with the pitch count for him. It's something to be cognizant of, yes. But now he's just looking fatigue after this, and he can't even locate the strike zone. I think he's thrown like 10 balls in a row. He had the 4 to Wong, 1 to Yelich, now 1 to Garcia. He's looking fatigue. He's looking fatigue. Slum's got an event. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't think Yelich is going to get hot for the rest of the season, in my opinion. The playoffs would be nice to get hot. I will say that. Phillies might score soon. Uh-oh, well, that's not good. Well, I guess if you're a Phillies fan. Garcia hits that one. Chopped foul for a 1-2 count. So Brewers dugout looks happy. Craig Counsell looks happy. What else is new? 1-2 count here for McGill to Garcia. Use the slider! Holy shit, he used the slider, but he's able to get contact on it. All right. So, yeah, pretty much what we see here is that, McGill, you have so many opportunities to use the slider on a put-away pitch, and you don't use it. Slider's been effective for him on the put-away pitch. You had it in the second inning back-to-backs with Yelich. Didn't use it. And then we see simply, the off-speed command is not present for him tonight. I think his command in general isn't present. We just saw the fourth pitch, that slider right there was just driven above. McGill has not been looking sharp so far. And honestly, everyone's been talking about the strong possibility of it being Garcia hits that one to Conforto, and that'll be caught. Hector, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in to the stream, buddy. Trade McGill for Castillo. Hey, listen, if Castillo could be consistent, sign me up. He had a great start last time. I think he had a shutout, 10 strikeouts. If he could be that in New York, I'm down. Good to see you here, though, Hector. Glad to have you here, man. So 1 away for Tyler McGill. Wasn't a clean out, but, it was a productive out. Why do the Mets do this to us every season, says Ruben. I want to change this offseason. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. It's Mets fans are very passionate. Yeah, so pretty much McGill has no command of the strike zone. He's throwing ball to ball to ball. I don't know what at this rate, throw your put-away pitch every – shit. He's missing his pitches. He's throwing a fastball. He's throwing his slider on the put-away. He's just not locating the play. Nothing with McCann. Rage. Everyone wants me to rage. Well, we'll see. We will see. Throw something. Fuck! There, I threw something. I don't know. I'm just numb to this already. Yeah, McGill. Yeah, you gotta take this dude out. 3-0 count here to Navarez. Yeah, so obviously you gotta take McGill out here. This dude has been struggling. And I really question, is he just getting like Taijuan Walker where he's getting fatigue? Is he getting fatigue? Because he's not used to pitching this much. Ooh, that was there. That had some heat on it, McGill. All right, show them you're mad. 96 fastball down the middle. Ooh. I don't know what his highest is, but that looked good. Come on, McGill. You have to start throwing that some more. Fuck. Oh, Narvaez hits that one to Nimmo. Nimmo will run into that, and he will catch that. McGill will retire Narvaez 2 away. Rojas looks happy in the dugout. So let's see if the Mets could try to get out of this inning. Obviously, rough inning for the New York Mets. You give up 3 hits, two home runs, 1 2-run homer, and then a solo home run to Christian Yelich, who, I mean, has been struggling this season like crazy. So that is something you do not like to see in McGill. And, I mean, the command, I mean, he almost just hit Escobar there. So that really goes to show something. That'll be a ball way outside the zone, his fastball. So we see this dude's all over the place, and it's not even him mixing his pitches. His fastball, one will be right down the plate, one will be in the dirt, one will be 10 feet off the sky. His command is not there. And what was that, a slider, changeup? Yeah, I mean, if McGill could, I mean, this dude's approaching a high pitch count. Like we said, pitch count isn't anything. Boomer's going to say McGill never pitched too many innings. Yeah, I mean, that I agree with you, man. I agree with you, Boomer, on that. You know, obviously, McGill is a guy who I think only pitched like 80 innings, 70 innings in the minor league. So you put him in this situation. I think he's almost at 100 now. He's starting to get fatigue. So we will see. You have a 3-0 count here to Escobar already. Not much of a fight. And that's a strike. No, that's a ball just in between the zone. Terrible frame job there. Escobar walks on a 4-pitch walk there. All 4 fastballs to him. Didn't even bother to swing at that one. So we will have Eduardo Escobar on first with 2 away for Daniel Vogelbach. Vogelbach is a beast. Low average. Only 8 home runs, but this dude will yeet balls. Doesn't mean he'll leave the ballpark, but he will rip the ball. So McGill sets the pitch, and that'll be taken just inside the zone for an 0-1 count. Nice slider there from McGill to Vogelbach. I mean, obviously, Vogelbach, he's a low average hitter. So you really, I mean, hey, so is Christian Yelich this year, so sucks to see. Ooh, pitch 2, McGill sets the pitch, delivers, and that'll be a strike. No, that'll be a ball once again. Interesting frame job by McCann behind the plate. Who should be the Mets' new manager? Nick, you got a lot of options out there, man. I mean, you got guys like Carlos Beltran, I think, is a reasonable option. I mean, I'm really down to a rookie manager. I think a lot of the guys that we're thinking of aren't really going to be the guys that I think will come down to. You know, people talk about, oh, you know, you don't like to have I think I may have got cut out there for a minute. Hector says, Hayden, why are you wearing a Brew Crew hat? I'm Brewers Talk with Hayden for today. I don't know. Bruce Bochy. Yeah, I know when you and I were conversing, you did mention him. You did point out he would have to come out of retirement. He is a little he's an old school type of manager, so I really question a lot of the modern skills in terms of analytics with him. I mean, he kind of drove the Giants to the ground in his later half of his career. I mean, he had more positives than bad, but he's been out of baseball for, 2 years by now? Vogelbach rips that one. That'll be fouled off to the backstop. 2-2 count here. McGill is really working this third inning. I mean, 62 pitches already. Rough inning for Tyler McGill. Rough outing for him. I mean, I don't know what's gotten into this dude. I think he would be great. Yeah, I honestly have to do some more research on Bruce Bochy. I'm not the most knowledgeable person with him. I mean, ever since Gabe Kepler took his job, the Giants have been amazing. Rips that one. Foul once again. 2-2 count. Vogelbach is really challenging McGill's fastball, but is swinging a second too early on that. He has 3 rings. That is true. What was it, like 2011, 2012, 2014, I think, something like that. So let's see if McGill could use his damn slider as the put-away pitch. I mean, he hasn't been using it at all tonight. Used it like twice. So let's see. McGill sets the pitch, and that'll be in the dirt. That will get away from McCann, but McCann will track the one down to hold off Escobar at first. So a 3-2 count here to Vogelbach. Yeah, so your question is, Rojas going to go to his bullpen now? I mean, you talk about, arm savior, arm mechanics. Well, Rojas, you have 10 games left. So, I mean, it comes to something else. More value than LeBron James. That's funny. So 3-2 count here from McGill to Vogelbach. Let's see what can get set. Vogelbach hits that one. Just swung that a bit late, and that'll be popped out to Brandon Nimmo, and that'll end the third inning. Brewers take the lead in this inning. They score 3. You got a 2-run homer from the heck's going. Okay, I don't know what that was. You had a 2-run homer, as you can see down here. Willy Adames started off with a Cone walk. Willy Adames hits a 2-run homer. Following that, first pitch for that, and then following that, Christian Yelich has a home run, 9th of the year to dead center. So something you don't like to see. Hitters take our pitchers to dead center. And then pretty much McGill's command, the off-speed command, was not really there. Overall, his command in general was not really there. Tough outing for McGill. We will see what happened. So let's see. So going into the 4th inning, we will have Michael Conforto, Jonathan VR, and James McCann leading off. I know I did miss one comment up here. And no command for the pitchers. Yeah, that's true, man. That is true. Yeah, so Eric said, what's the news on DeGrom? So pretty much the news with DeGrom, we all know what happened. It's clearly the velocity increase. I mean, people have been talking. He's aging. He is 33 years old, and his velocity is going up. And people say, how does someone's velocity increase by age? He has limited amount of innings pitched on his arm. I mean, in college, he was a shortstop. He didn't get into starting to pitch till later on, till he was 20, 22, 23, where usually pitchers are already fully developed by then. You have pitchers in the leagues now that are, college guys. So, yeah, pretty much we all know that's really what happened with DeGrom. And then pretty much, I mean, we saw this dude. I mean, he started off his career. I mean, his fastball was topping out at 96. And then simply enough, he just got better with age, kind of like a fine wine. Just like Justin Verlander. And then, I mean, simply enough, this season, he started off on a Hall of Fame career. Crazy what we were seeing out of this dude. I mean, the RPMs, the velocity, everything was there. The strikeouts, this dude was going, 9 innings pitched, 12, 15 strikeouts, a walk, and a hit, 0 runs. Really unfortunate to see what happened with DeGrom this season. And we really saw it. Conforto will hit that one. First pitch sharply to center field. Lorenzo Cain will grab that one away. But yeah, pretty much with DeGrom, we know that the velocity was up there. People were questioning the ability of spider tack use in the first half. I could see the argument that could be made. Yes, if you're gripping the ball harder, but you look at the RPMs and it really only changed like 1 to 2%, and a decimal, obviously. So nothing drastically. So, I mean, if DeGrom were to have to change that automatically without anything, there's no way it would simulate around the same exact percentage. So personally, I don't think he used anything. So let's see. Jonathan VR coming up for the Mets. Taking a look at the NL East, we could see the Mets are obviously 7.5 games back, 2-8 in their last 10, and they're on a 2-game losing streak, and they're looking like they're going to help the Brewers get back on their winning streak. So Jonathan VR is 1-1 on the day, had a nice single the other way. Sets with an 0-2 count. we will see what VR can get set. We see VR has been a nice offseason pickup for us this season. Lauer will throw that one way over. Okay. Well, you know what? Anything's possible, but there's a difference between being realistic versus a fantasy, in my opinion. Personally, I'm just on here to just, not even so much watch the game, but communicate with you guys, see what you have to say. I mean, clearly the season's over. Pretty blatantly obvious. I appreciate it, Kobe. Season's over for the Mets, blatantly obvious. Mathematically, they're not eliminated, but I think tonight they would be, I believe, or tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. Fantasy baseball. So 1-2 count here for Jonathan VR. He will take that way above high. Ball 3. Good way to lay that one off. Surprise everyone in this Mets lineup would swing at that. Nice changeup by Lauer there. VR will leave that one off. 2-2 count here to VR. Lauer will set the pitch. That'll be taken way below the knees. Ball 3. So 3-2 count here for VR. Something the Mets lineup is, I guess, has one good thing. I guess this is one positive you could say about this Mets lineup is we're starting to get better with 0-2 counts. You see VR obviously started off on an 0-2 count, especially this Mets lineup, and you really work it up. And I think that's really what we've been seeing a lot in Jeff McNeil and a lot of other players on this team, obviously. I mean, McNeil is a notorious guy in 2019. He was a guy who would constantly get 0-2 counts, 2 back-to-back foul balls or back-to-back strikes or ball, foul, whatever. And you build off of that. And I mean, McNeil the other night pretty much worked a 9-pitch count against Chris Sale. And then what did he do? He laid off a lot of the breaking pitches, which McNeil struggled with. And then simply enough, you work that 9-pitch count. You work that 9-pitch count, and then you do something with it, which he did, and he hit the ball the other way, barrel of the bat, to go opposite field to drive in Baez for an RBI. So that was the old types of McNeil. And VR will hit that one sharply, and that'll be tracked down by Yelich in left field. Yelich had a run on that one a little bit. Good speed there by Yelich, but that'll retire VR to bring up the elite James McCann himself. So let's see. Brewers look like they have their game on for tonight. Obviously, like we know, this is going to be a low-scoring game on both half of the cells. Pretty much Mets lineup and the Brewers lineup offensively. They're not the best, they're not the sharpest, but the Brewers, they rely on their pitching, kind of like the Mets in the first half. We really relied on DeGrom. We really relied on Stroman. We really relied on Walker. They gave, up 1 or 2 runs per game, and our bullpen was pretty solid for the most part for this first half, and our offense didn't really do much. I mean, there was a stat that said, if we scored 3 runs, for every single game, we would have the second best record in baseball. So it goes to show a lot. So goes to show you, like I said, the names are here. You really have the names here. We're just not seeing the production, and it really does suck. I mean, for most of the time, in a lot of these guys' careers, they've been consistent players. Nimmo's been nice. Alonso's been nice, but they don't have anyone else backing them up, and that's the big thing. Conforto, for most of his career, has been a consistent player. He's been very streaky this season. McCann will almost get hit by that pitch, but will lay that cutter off way outside the zone. A 2-1 count here to McCann. And McCann will just take an uppercut swing at that 2-2 count here. Fastball right down the middle. It goes to show you how interesting this team is. McCann will hit that one. He got a barrel on that, but that'll be hit sharply to center field, Lorenzo Cain, and that'll get 3 outs in the inning. All right. Hector says, Hayden, what do you think of Luis Rojas? Um, yeah, Rojas is really, really something else. I'll tell you that, Hector. I pretty much came into the season giving Rojas the benefit of the doubt. I labeled it the honeymoon phase, and I pretty much just said, hey, Rojas, we saw what he had in 2020. He didn't really have the best pitching to work with. He had a solid lineup, but he was thrown into this managerial position with such short notice, with all the stuff going on in the world. It was a tough position, and I think anyone could agree on that. What we saw of him in 2020 wasn't, you couldn't judge him off of it crazily. Like I said, honeymoon phase, first 100 days, whatever you want to call it. And then simply enough, in 2020, we saw the size of, he didn't really stand up first players. That was something that was pretty big for him. He didn't stand up first players. That series in Buffalo, where McNeil got called on a foul tip, and it was strike three, but it hit him, and he didn't swing on it. And then, Rojas obviously let McNeil pretty much just suffer out there and argue for himself. So Rojas didn't stand up for his players. Lineups were a little interesting. He wasn't super much on the lefty on righty, righty on righty nonsense back then. And simply enough, this year, Sal Licata and the SNY crew wanted him an extension. He was the manager of the year going into this, April and May. And I'll give him props. He was able to really work with a different lineup given to him each day, kind of like what Don Mattingly got in 2020. And honestly, Don Mattingly deserved National League Manager of the Year last year because this dude was given a new lineup every single day with AA, AAA, and single A guys, and he was able to make it work and put them in the playoffs, or just simply enough have a winning record. I gave respect to Rojas for that. He respects his guys, vice versa. I like that. But then fortunately, you got to look at Luis Rojas. He doesn't stand up for his players. He puts this lefty on righty crap. He pretty much, went around and when the Mets were on that huge losing streak in San Francisco and and Los Angeles, he pretty much said, "Oh, a lot of these were run games, and we didn't have a chance in them." What do you mean you didn't have a chance in one-run games? Of course you do. They're one-run games. You have a chance in them. It's not 10 games. If it was a 10-game difference or a 13-game difference, I'd say absolutely. But it's a one-run game. So that really got me lost with Rojas. Obviously, the outing in Philadelphia where he told Stroman not to swing with the bat, bases loaded, nobody out. You don't want to go for the double play. That left a sour taste in my mouth. So overall, what it comes down to Rojas is the lack of analytic usage. That's been something, he claims to look at average and not even average, but he claims to look at WRC plus, X-Wobas, on-base percentage. But then, when you're pitch hitting Familia to Will Smith was over 1,000 OPS against righties, but then Will Smith has a 600 OPS against lefties, and you don't put in Loop, it's stuff like that. This dude wasted Lugo, and Loop to have them go face one batter for 5 pitches and then put something else. So overall with Rojas this season, he doesn't stand up for his players. A lot of this bullpen movements were terrible, just like Mickey Callaway. Lineups, I question how much of that is him versus the analytical department. And there's so much more. So pretty much Lorenzo Cain will get on to lead off the first. So, we will see. Obviously, I'm going to pay attention to the chat. The picture was taken in 2015. Those were the memories, my dude. Connor, I'm sorry to hear about your poor Red Sox. Trust me, I feel you, man. I feel you. 7-3. Yeah, 7 inning. I think that game's probably done. So let's see what Tyler McGill can get set against Lauer. And he's going to bunt on that, and he will rip that one foul. So 1-0 count here. Lauer will lay down a bunt. Alonso will get that one, throw that to Baez to get the force out. Kane will move up to second and slap Lindor in the behind. Very interesting. So we will have a runner in scoring position for Colton Wong. See if he could take advantage of that for the Brewers. What about Danny Duffy? He's a guy who I guess was pretty nice for the Royals the first half. I think he got hurt, or sent down. I think he got hurt, and then I believe that kind of messed him up. But he looked like he had nice stuff. We could take a look-see at some of the Royals pitching staff in between innings if you guys want to. We could do it now, I guess, if you want. Yeah, I could take a look-see at him. So what were the names again? You wanted me to take a look-see at Danny Duffy. I mean, I'm not the biggest expert on Kansas City Royals pitching staff. Danny Duffy. Heading for surgery or retirement. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they've been saying that this dude has been having a lot of injury issues. That's right. They did trade him to the Dodgers. I forgot about that. That's right. Yeah, he's been having a lot of injury issues, it seems. I mean, Wong will rip that one to the warning track, and McNeil will locate that one just on the wall. Kane will tag up at third. That ball was hit sharply to left field. That was right on the warning track there. Danny Duffy. Let's take a look-see at Danny Duffy and see what this dude has. Taking a look-see at Daniel Duffy. Stand by. So obviously we will get a nice visitation from Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach, to Tyler McGill, who has not had his stuff tonight. Yeah, Danny Duffy, so what does he have for his pitching? He has a nice fastball, slider, changeup is his put-away pitch. Looks pretty solid. He's really, I mean, you see the injuries affecting what he throws, kind of like with Syndergaard. I mean, the slider is kind of difficult when you have an elbow injury, so that makes sense. That's what he has. Average velocity, nothing crazy. Has a bit of a walk issue, could have a command issue later on. Gives up some nice launch angle. Expected ERA. What else do we got on this dude? Chase rate has a nice chase rate, fair strikeout rate, nice spin. All right, so we will see. Back to the Mets. Taking a look-see at the Mets. McGill has really been struggling out there. Just had a nice little mound meeting with Mets pitching coach Jeremy Hefner, and he will be facing Willy Adames, who has been responsible for 2 of these runs today. In last inning, he did have a 2-run homer, his 24th or 26th of the season for him. So this Brewers lineup is looking pretty solid today. You have runner on third for McGill, and that'll be taken right off the corner. A good frame there by McCann for a 1-1 count. Nice fastball. So hopefully McGill can get out of this inning without any damage. Yeah, I was going to say, because the Royals traded away him during the deadline, and they never said who they got back for him. That's weird. Adams will hit that one right off the corner of the bat. That'll be fouled off. 1-2 count here to Willy Adames. So let's see if we can get the nice slider put-away pitch that McGill has always been talking about against Adames. So 1-2 count. That ball will be taken high. A 2-2 count here. Rough outing, rough game. McGill will throw that one in the dirt, almost away. So this is the thing that we're seeing with McGill, and it's not even his. People are saying, "Oh, the pitch count, oh, his pitch match." He's throwing the same thing. This dude has thrown like 8 fastballs in a row, and he cannot locate the off-speed fastball command. Something he had, I think it was in the Yankee start or the whatever start he had when he really slew up. The Royals gave away cash as well as it could be coming. Yeah, we'll see. Always the common saying, next season, dudes. You're right, Jed. Hector says, Hayden, who do you like as the Mets manager? Yeah, I mean, Louis Rojas is clearly gone, obviously. It's questionable. Well, questionable because you have Sandy still around, and he would like to have Louis. The manager spot, it's not like how it was with Bobby Valentine. They're much more involved. Well, they're not much more involved. They're pretty much like the puppet, the a lot of the coaching staff and a lot of the analytical team tells them what to do, and they do it. But a lot of stuff like lineup construction they assist in, and McGill will strike out Willie Adames there on a full count. Nice fastball down the middle. Swing and miss there. Good to see. Mets will go into the 5th inning. Let's see what they can get done. But yeah, Mets manager, it's going to be something to look at this offseason, obviously, Hector. You got so many choices out there, like you stated. You got your boy Bochy. Carlos Beltran's still a fair choice. Obviously, the Astros cheating scandal has passed by now. And I mean, listen, you got Cora a job. You got AJ Hinch a job. I think it's only fair to bring obviously, to bring Carlos Beltran back a job. Carlos Beltran, I think he's a dude who knows these players well. Obviously, he's a player. He used to play. We all know that. I like guys who used to play because they know situational stuff much more. They know what it's like to be in these guys' shoes. So he could relate to guys like Brandon Nimmo. He could relate to guys like Pete Alonso. Guys like Rojas, personally, I think Rojas, he didn't understand any of that. Rojas is a good manager, but in AAA. Rojas is a minor league manager, not a major league manager, in my opinion. So personally, I'm going to go with this simple solution, and I've always liked him. I think I made a video about him in the past. If you want to check it out, Carlos Beltran is the guy who I'm clearly going to go with. So let's see what the Mets can get rolling. They will have the middle of their order coming up in the 5th inning, or the tail end of their order, I should say. McNeil, McGill, and Nimmo. Questionable if McGill will get the 5th inning. What Rojas is probably going to do is what Joe Girardi also does, and a lot of other managers around the league, and it drives me nuts. And that's why when the DH comes, they'll get rid of this, where you'll have your pitcher sit and then take him out immediately after. Drives me nuts when managers do that. Girardi does it. Rojas does it. I think Boone did it one. Well, Boone can't do it, but it drives me nuts when National League managers do that. And that's why I can't wait till the DH comes, because I think it'll help. Quentin says, thoughts on Alonso? Yeah, Alonso, I mean, we all know how much of a big Pete Alonso fan I am. Alonso's having a good season. His strikeout rate is going down. His walk rate is going up. Alonso is being much more patient at the plate, and he's taking every single pitch like he is going to actually do something with it effective. He's getting much better with these breaking pitches in the dirt, which has been something that really killed him in 2019, the breaking pitches in the dirt and the off-speed pitches, which he's been getting better at. Now Alonso with the off-speed pitches is more so – Alonso doesn't hit power on off-speed. He's more of a guy who will hit base hits and light contact against off-speed. But Alonso kills breaking pitches. I think he's tied, 18 and 18 for fastballs and breaking pitches. So clearly, as we can see, Alonso kills breaking pitches now, which was his weakness. Alonso's looking good. He's hitting for power. We saw that he could hit such raw power the opposite way. In Fenway, hit one to the right side in Fenway near the pesky pole. I mean, raw power there. His power's there. He's looking good. I could see this dude finishing with 400 career home runs, to be honest with you. Defensively, he's okay. Alonso going into the season was more of a guy who liked to look like a Gold Glove first baseman. I don't think he is a Gold Glove first baseman, unfortunately. He's made a nice couple grabs, has a solid OAA. Well, no, his OA is pretty. I mean, listen, he has a solid defensive run saved. Poor OAA, I think he's in the 39th percentile and outs above average. But you got to realize a lot of that, too, is on poor throwing errors by guys like Baez and Lindor. But yeah, Alonso this season has been looking sharp. I think a lot of us are just accustomed to him hitting, 50 home runs. But, I mean, 35, 36, that's not bad. I could see him finishing with 38, 39. I mean, he's been going the other way more, which was something in 2019 and 2020 especially. He had really difficulty beating the shift. And now that Alonso is beating the shift, I really think that is going to make him successful. And the Mets have 2 outs already in this inning. Jeff McNeil flies out on a sharply hit ball to center field. Lorenzo Cain obtains that. And then Kevin Pillar strikes out. Hector is going to say, have you noticed McNeil doesn't have his Tiger Woods golf stances hitting the ball hard? He is. He took a break from the golf course, and he's been hitting up the batting cages. That is true. I like that. And I think it's difficult with McNeil because McNeil's trying to figure out what type of hitter he's going to be. Is McNeil a power hitter? Is he a light BABIP hitter? Is he a contact hitter? Is he a guy who will hit the ball the other way? Is he a guy who will hit for some line drives, have a good launch angle? That's the thing with McNeil. He's really in a schmuck, I guess, in the cracks of what type of hitter he wants to be. So we will see. Obviously, Kevin Pillar did pitch hit for Tyler McGill, so he is out of this game. Brandon Nimmo coming up, and he will take that one. Strike 2, so we have a 1-2 count here to Nimmo. All fastballs. We see Lauer's kind of just going on the fastball route, not really challenging the Mets offense, been pretty quiet. Now you're getting into the top of the Mets order, so you may have to start to challenge. So Lauer sets the pitch, and that ball will be taken just high. Ball 2, 2-2 count here to Nimmo. Obviously, no need to fear whenever Nimmo gets an 0-2 count. He's probably going to work it up like he usually does. But Lauer's really been pounding that zone with the fastball. So I question, is he getting tired? Only 87 pitches. Once he gets out of this inning, he's eligible for the win. So full count here to Brandon Nimmo. And he will take that one. Ball 4 just outside the zone. Ball 4. Another fastball. What do you know? And that will leave Nimmo on base for Francisco Lindor to come up to the plate. Know what this dude's texting me. So here, Francisco Lindor, the $341 million man himself, coming up to the dish. 0-2 on the day, ground out, and a strikeout on the day. So we hope Lindor could try to get the Mets on the board. Home run would be very nice for him. Lauer will throw back, attempt to pick off Nimmo at first. To Vogel back to Lauer. Does not get the pickoff attempt. Nimmo almost got out there. He got a little confused, it seemed. He's safe. He's safe. Are the Brewers going to challenge that? They are not. Okay. Or maybe they are. No, they are not going to challenge. All right, so Brewers will not challenge the call closely. You got Vogelback playing at first base, obviously, you think, but you know what? You're only up by 3, so it's not a crazy comfortable lead. And, I mean, one swing of this pitch could really make a difference in this ball game. Lindor will swing first pitch, and that'll be hit the other way to Garcia. A light fly ball. So that'll put the Mets away. All right. Let's see what is going on. Marks here. Who is the most underrated player going into the season? I mean, in terms of this free agency, I'm probably going to say Aaron Loup. Aaron Loup is extremely underrated. They're going to re-sign him, no doubt. I mean, extending and re-signing Aaron Loup, something easy. I mean, simply enough, at first when we signed him, we didn't think much of it. We just figured, okay, it's someone to take over Justin Wilson's spot. this Mets rotation and bullpen really lacks some type of remedy for left-handed pitching. We really didn't have anyone going into this season in the left-handed pitching spot. You got Aaron Loup. You knew he was from Tampa Bay and San Diego, who has great pitching rotations, great pitching staff, coaches. Pretty much once you go to the Rays, you're pretty much going to be an elite pitcher for the most part. Houston's also pretty good with that. Loup, what this do? I mean, he pretty much started off his career with the Mets pretty bad when he hit Harper, bases loaded. But the amount of times this dude was put in he's great in situational moments. I think he was put in at least 2 or 3 moments where he was bases loaded, nobody out, and he had a 3-0 count, and he surrendered no damage. He was able to get out of it. This dude, I mean, he primarily has a nasty slider, a nasty curve, great picks, Mitch. He'll switch off between his slider, his curve, his fastball, and he'll shuffle it up. It's great. We're seeing a lot of swinging and misses there. Yeah, the velocity isn't great, but it breaks well. And it gets the job done overall. So I really like what I'm seeing in Aaron Loup. Loup, there it is. Hopefully the Mets do extend him. I mean, a 1 sub ERA. I mean, that's awesome. That really is. Pirates winning right now. All right, let's see. Pirates are winning right now. Let's take a look-see at how the Pirates are doing. MLB, let's take a look-see. Brad, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning into the stream. New face on the channel, I believe. I think I may have seen you here once before, but I appreciate you tuning into the stream, man. Yeah, Pirates are up against the Phillies. So Brad Hand is coming in. Brad Hand is a guy who has just been Brad Foot for the Mets. Command is not there. His velocity on the slider has dipped quite a bit. He is not the guy the Mets were hoping for. You hope that he would have worked with Hefner and changed quite a bit, but no. Who else we got in here? Hector says, I think Alonso needs to lose some weight in the offseason. You could tell his bat is a bit slow on the high fastball. If he loses 10 to 15 pounds. Yeah, dude, and you know what? Honestly, I agree with you on that. I mean, we saw what Vlad Jr. did this offseason. The dude lost like 40 pounds this offseason. And look at him now. He's hitting the ball for much more raw power. And I don't know if you heard me say it in my last stream yesterday, but I pretty much repeated you. I said that, and I think someone else said if Alonso could drop at least 20 pounds, in this case, you said, would you say 50 or 10, 15 also? Yeah, like I said, he could be more of a power hitter. I think he has a lot. I mean, 2020 he was pretty chunky. He slimmed down a little bit. But, he puts in a good hustle, I'll tell you that. Pirates winning right now, of course. Eric says Mets YouTube's been quiet. Yeah, Eric, it has, since, I'll tell you, I did one of these game streams, the Mets and Cubs. And, this stream was packed. We had like 30 people in here at one point. And, now people are giving up on the season, which is fine. But you know what? It proves to go show you who the real Mets fans are. Listen, I know the Mets season's over, being realistic, but I'm still going to come in here, still going to talk to you guys. Still going to converse about my Mets because you know what? When the Mets do win, whenever they do win a World Series, it makes it much more enjoyable. I'm not going to be a bum bandwagon and hop on another train. I'm going to stick with my Mets, like an Orioles fan would. And that ball will be hit by Brad Hand. Christian Yelich will take that one into the corner. McNeil will slide. He's not able to catch that. And Yelich is going to hustle. He's hustling. He's going to go to second. He's running to third. Yelich will hustle into third. McNeil's throw, and he will be safe. So a triple on the day for Christian Yelich. Hit one into the corner. That ball dropped at the last moment by Brad Hand. That slider was not on point. Yelich went that one the other way, almost on the line. McNeil, not an out. I mean, I don't know how many other guys would have been able to make that. That ball went out of play. So is that a double there? Because that looked like it went out of play. That ball did look like it went out of play, but maybe that was just me. All right, maybe that was just me. Yeah, currently Christian Yelich has a home run and a triple, so he's a double and a base hit shy of the cycle. Watch him get that. First pitch from Brad Hand to Garcia will be a strike. Fastball. Paul, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning into the stream. First time viewer, I assume, so I appreciate you tuning in, man. Hope you're doing well. Amen. Of course, Brad. Listen, Mets, stick with them no matter what. Kobe says Brad Hand is, yeah, I agree with you. And obviously Garcia will hit that one sharply. Nimmo Conforto call it. Nimmo will get that. He will throw that in. And that will be a sac fly to drive in Christian Yelich. Brewers up 5-1. Sac fly RBI from Avisal Garcia. Yikes. Just let the game be over with, please. All right. So as we know, tough night for the Mets. Very tough night for the Mets. So now we have Omar Narvaez coming up. 0-2 on the day for Brewers. We will see what Brad Hand can get going against him. So first pitch from the southpaw Brad Hand will be, ooh, that was a little nice. That had some nice movement on that. Nice slider. Nice low velocity slider there. We said there was some miscommunication there from Conforto and Nimmo. Hopefully they were able to work that out. I don't know what that was about, but some miscommunication. All right, so we have Brad Hand. He seems to be getting well. Has an 0-2 count and now struck out Omar Narvaez on a foul tip. Nice there. We saw the slider picked up some velocity. What did that slider top out at? Like 81, 83? All right, not bad, not bad. If only Brad Hand could have, done this maybe like 10 other times. Alexander, man, what's going on? Alexander says, what happened to the Mets? Oh, my God, it's so annoying to see. It is, man. It really does suck, I'll tell you. It really sucks. Zach says Rays' first 3 hitters tonight are 0 for 11. The rest are 10 for 20. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's see what Eduardo Escobar can get going for the Brewers. Brad Hand, that'll be ball 2. So seemingly the game is looking like it is favoring in the Brewers' favor. Mets are down 4. Ooh, that was a nice little rip. That fast was that? Yeah, that was his fastball, clearly. Fastball down the middle, 93. All right. Yeah, that's the thing with Brad Hand. I mean, ever since he went to San Diego and then ever since he kind of left Cleveland, Cleveland and San Diego, his velocity has took a dip. The slider was his big effect, and it dropped some velocity, and he just wasn't becoming as effective. So then he went to the fastball. Then this dude was getting barreled and barreled after day, giving up hard contact, light contact, any type of contact. Then he's having a command issue. And that'll get us out of the inning. Eduardo Escobar will hit that one to Nimmo. High pop fly, and he will catch that to end the 5th. But the Brewers do tack on a run here by a sac fly. Great base running by Christian Yelich for a triple, who is a double and a single side of the cycle. And Avisal Garcia was able to drive him in on a sac fly. So we're going to have to see. Wander Franco's back. Nice. Good to see Wander Franco's back. But a quick drive around the majors, we could see Cardinals are playing a doubleheader. They are currently up against the Cubs 9-3. Texas Rangers are up, or Baltimore Orioles are up against the Rangers 5-3. Phillies just took the lead against the Pirates 8-6. Interesting. Phillies are a team that, their bullpen has really been helping them out since so far. Looking at the Phillies, their offense was pretty solid. I mean, you're getting a great MVP caliber performance from Bryce Harper. You're getting Real Muto, who's been having a solid second half, bounce back compared to his first. Their defense has been holding down the fort. I mean, they DFA'd or sent down Alec Boehm. I didn't mean to say DFA'd. They sent down Alec Boehm, which was a big thing, defensive error guy. Guys like Gene Segura, they're bobbling double plays, throwing the balls away. We saw that in a lot of the Mets series. Phillies, I don't know where they're ranked in DRS and OAA, but I think it was pretty low in the first half, and I think they're actually ranked pretty high in the second half, so it goes to show you. Their bullpen was the big thing. I mean, their bullpen was blowing historical records. So obviously that was the big concern with Philly, and they addressed it at the deadline. They got some type of a cure for it. They went out. Dombrowski got Ian Kennedy to close for that closer role, and you got Kyle Gibson, and they've been solid. Those were two guys that I really wanted the Mets to go after, and they did it. They went to Philly, and look what happened. It helped them. So we're going to see. So going into the top of the six, we love Javier Baez, Pete Alonso, and Michael Conforto leading off. Javier Baez will take that uppercut first pitch and a first strike swing on a fastball. Come on, Baez. You got to be able to hit that fastball, dude. So we could see that Baez is swinging around. He's been a free swinger tonight. And then clearly, obviously, Nimmo and Conforto were conversing in the dugout in between innings because they had some miscommunication issue. They all almost collided into each other to catch that fly ball before. So they're talking in the dugout. See what they could improve next time, clearly. They do have Shake Shack at Citi Field. They do. I've been there. The line's a pain in the behind, but, you gotta wait for a while. Baez will take that pitch in the dirt. Old signs of Baez, third strike. And that will be 3 strikeouts on the day for Javier Baez, or 2, we'll see. Not what I like to see in Baez in that you swing at 2 fastballs in the dirt. Come on, Baez. So we'll see what Pete Alonso can get rolling tonight. Currently, Pete Alonso is 0-2 on the day. Both ground outs. Well, a ground out and an error on the second baseman. So we will see what Alonso can get rolling for tonight against Lauer, who is pitching a good game, and he will take that first pitch right down the zone. Low fastball down the zone for strike 1. Once again, he will do the same thing, an 0-2 count. Alonso will rip that one just high. Would have been ball 1, but that ball will go foul into the stands. Yeah, I know today is a very, very depressing stream. I had a figured, it wasn't going to be as bad this game, but I thought it'd be a typical 1-run game. And Alonso will take that one. Off-speed pitch, ball 1. Yeah, typically, honestly, I was hoping to do this for the Rages, but honestly, I'm not even in the mood to rage tonight. Mets are just I don't know. Zach says Baez has the second highest OPS plus of his career. This year, how is that even possible? Feels like one of the worst. Well, yeah, this has been his worst game since 3 strikeouts. I don't think he's had 3 strikeouts since being with the Mets. I think he's had 3 strikeouts in his last 20 games. His play discipline has been massively improving. Alonso will take that one. Strike 3 down the middle. First strikeout on the day for Alonso. 0-3 on the day. Got that slider. Yikes. But we got 14 people in the chat. I appreciate everyone for tuning into today's stream. If you guys are new to the channel, as always, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about this channel. If you have to make an account for your dog, your cat, your fish, go ahead. Any comments, questions about the Mets, Brewers, Diamondbacks, drop them below, and I will try the best of my ability to answer them. And Conforto will swing first pitch to the left fielder, Christian Yelich, and he will catch that one light pop fly, and that'll be the third out for Lauer. So clean inning, clean game for Lauer. Eric Lauer is looking like a Cy Young. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Lower his ERA way below 3. Great to see. He looks like a Cy Young caliber guy, and that's not even his best. Yeah, Zach has stated. Yeah, Baez was looking weird this season. Baez, he had like 3 strikeouts in like 20 games. And I don't know, now his plate discipline is looking off tonight. Yeah, the Brewers pitching staff is elite, but come on now. Yeah, honestly, I think you're just in a game where it sucks. Hector says, I want to resign Baez. All right, we'll see what the reasoning is. Cole, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in. He says, this team is so bad, it makes me sick. I turn on the Red Sox and Yankees because that's real baseball. Listen, man, I suffer with the team. I like to suffer. Of course, Brad, I appreciate you tuning in, the kind words. I'll tell you why. Do you guys see his swings? He puts so much on his back. He might have serious injuries. I don't think Baez is really... Baez has been an injury-prone guy in the past. We know he had something with his leg. And when the Mets first picked him up, they were questionable on a lot of his swings and his stance being a bit changed up. And it's interesting you bring that up because I know during the live stream I did during the trade deadline, I mentioned that. I mentioned that it was something with an injury and that it would affect his swing and his stance. I think he had like some leg injury in Chicago, and it was kind of unclear during the trade. It was brought up, but it was kind of unclear. So that's an interesting point you bring that up. Honestly, after the season, this whole training staff is being fired, so we'll examine that. I could see that that's your worry about Baez. Clearly, it's not as a player; it's the injuries, which makes sense. Obviously, we're worried about a lot of guys. DeGrom, Baez, I guess, could be one. But yeah, we'll have to see with that. I have to do more research about the injuries with Baez. Zach says free agency should be fun this year, even though I'm a Royals fan and we aren't signing anyone. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Royals will be 1-year deal guys. Exactly, you just said it. He puts a lot of force. Now, I get that. Especially if he's trying to be a power hitter, or kind of is. But I understand what you're saying, man. That makes sense. Baez is the one and only bright spots of sports. So far, he's been looking. Mark's here says, should the Mets operate on a 6-man rotation next season? Yeah, that was talked about this season. Personally, I don't want that because you're taking away one less start from DeGrom, and I want to give DeGrom as many starts as he can when he's healthy next season or in the future. And I don't know. It's one thing if it was a 4-man rotation, but even then, I don't like that. Personally, I'd rather have an extra guy in the bullpen. I don't really know who else you would really want. Lugo, clearly. It's interesting to see what they do this offseason with pitching. So now we have Heath Hembree coming into the game. Heath Hembree's interesting acquisition. Nothing crazy. Completely unlucky. Gives up a lot of barrels. He has nice stuff. Nice slider. Elite slider. Elite. I will tell you that. Has a command issue and gets a little unlucky with some barrels. We saw that, I think it was in the St. Louis series. So we will see what he can get ready against Daniel Vogelbach. But I appreciate everyone for tuning into today's stream, of course. Take that pitch. Strike 2. That was nasty. The break and the drop on that slider. That was the best part of tonight's game there. A slider by Heath Hembree. So 1-2 count here for Heath Hembree to Vogelbach. Take that one, and that'll be in the dirt, blocked by McCann. Slider. That's the thing. When you talk about the accuracy, is you got to be careful with that. Baez is the only bright bar. Hey, tell the Royals to trade Salvador Perez to the Mets. Yeah, I mean, Salvi has been having a monstrous season. I mean, defensively, he's not great, but offensively, he's a beast. I mean, he's Mike Piazza 2.0. I mean, Mike Piazza was not that great defensively, but back then it didn't really matter because the umpires were like less annoying. And Heath Hembree will sit down Daniel Vogel back on that pitch. Nice fastball down the left side of the corner, and that'll retire Daniel Vogel back on to start off the bottom of the 6th inning to get Lorenzo Cain. Let's see if we could try to get out of this inning. Questionable if the Brewers will still pick up Lauer. They have a fairly nice, healthy lead, so it is questionable if they are going to take anyone on the bench. Yeah, I remember Salvador Perez. I do remember that. I saw him, I'll tell you that. We will see Lorenzo Cain will first pitch, ground that one out to Francisco Lindor, to Alonso, 2 away, and we will see what Eric Lauer can get going in. Obviously, they're going to keep him in the game, so we're going to see. I mean, he's pitching pretty solidly, so I guess that makes the most sense. He would like to get out of this inning unscathed. Yeah, 2015 MVP. He lost me $600. Oh, you had a $600 bet, man. I'm sorry. I am sorry to hear you had a $600 bet on him. That's tough, dude. It is. Alyssa, what's going on, Alyssa? I appreciate you tuning in. No rages today, sadly. Unless the Mets come back and then blow the lead. Then yes, then we'll have a ton of rages. Eric Lauer, 0 for 1 on the day. Obviously, had a nice sack bunt to drive in Lorenzo Cain to second base before. We will see what he can get rolling in the second. 2-1, 2-0 count. And he will take that as a swing and a miss right down the zone. 2-1 count here to Eric Lauer. Ball 3 from Heath Hembree. So this is something that Heath Hembree definitely gets into a little bit of a jam. He'll get 1 or 2 outs, and then he'll face the third batter in the inning, and then he'll lose some command. Velocity still seems to be there, but he'll lose some command, and he will take the nice little swing there by Lauer. Nice swing there by Lauer. That's what you like to see out of pitchers. I mean, it'll hurt him, but solid. See in our studios, what's going on, man? He says Yankees are making the playoffs. Mets not so much so. Yeah, I mean Mets are mathematically alive, but realistically they are not making the playoffs. Yankees, I think right now your Yankees are up, man. I think they're up 8-3 as Heath Hembree will strike out Lauer on a fastball down the zone to get out of the 6th inning. Mets will go into the 7th. Yeah, Yankees are up 8-3 in Boston, and you thought, with the Red Sox, they'd have home field advantage. Yankees typically don't have the best track numbers at Fenway. So you thought tonight would easily go to the Red Sox, but it went to the Yankees clearly. Garrett Cole had his stuff on tonight. I'll have to do the research on how he played, but he seemed to pitch solidly. Yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, though, man. Mark's here. I appreciate you tuning in. Good to see you, man. Peace out. Glad to have you tune into today's stream. So we will see what can get rolling for the Mets. Mets will go into the top of the 7th with Jonathan VR, James McCann, and Jeff McNeil leading off for this team. So obviously, very tiring night for the Mets. I know the stream has been kind of quiet, pretty dull. I get it. Mets are just Metsing up right now. That's all you could say. This is a team that likes to Mets up pretty much. Hayden, what's going on, man? Hayden says Mets are going to have a crazy good draft next year. Yeah, obviously we have the compensation pick for the 11th spot due to the Kumar Rocker issue. So I guess that's the one benefit of it. And then simply enough, we do, I think, are shooting for, like the 14th spot right now, I think is what we're looking at. So obviously, we're, in terms of the draft next season, the Mets are really going to want to be very, very, rigid and rigorous and go after outfield depth. I mean, starting pitching is one thing. I mean, last draft season, we really based it all around Kumar Rocker. And I mean, look what happened. He had the whole injury thing, which, I mean, we all know how I felt about that. I ranted off about that quite a bit. And it, pretty much left us in Kaputskis. Yeah, we got some good other arms too, but you really need more outfield. In terms of the outfield prospects, you got Khalil Lee, who's pretty much called up. You got Cortez, who's like a low-level prospect, and that's really it. So yeah, Mets are really gonna have to really get on their game for their outfield farm system. And I think that this new ownership is really interested in building up the farm more. We saw the last couple of years we really traded away a lot of guys. Jared Kelenic was a big one. I mean, the Mariners pretty much are the Mets juniors. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Hayden. We're really going to have to go big on the draft next season, and I think we will. We could lose our second draft pick. That's true, Cole. Now, that's true. Depending on, if we do sign someone, if Conforto gets the QO or not. So that's true. So that's going to be one little concern, but you have to see with Sandy Alderson at this rate. So first pitch from Lauer to VR will be a huge swing and a miss, strike one. So VR is trying to, send a message, piss one into the stands, but I don't think that'll work. Let me see who's like a yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. The Kumar Rocker situation really did suck. 1-2 count here to Jonathan VR. So yeah, Lauer's pitching his game on tonight. I mean, let's take a look see at Lauer. Let's go on Savant, the Bible Savant. That'll be swing and a miss, strike three, up and in. Cannot hit an off-speed high fastball. Strike three. Does this class have good prospects ahead, I think is what Vincent's asking. Yeah, Vincent, I believe this does have a lot of outfield prospects coming in, so that should be good. I don't really follow college baseball a whole lot, so I'll have to see. And, who knows who they'll draft out of high school. So outfield is what you definitely want to shoot for. Vince Velasquez, what's going on, man? What happened to Vince Velasquez this season? What's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning into the stream. So we got James McCann coming up to the dish for the Mets. Got Lauer, 106 pitch count already. So you question how much longer is Craig Counsell going to leave him out there? You don't. Now the Brewers are clinched the playoffs. They're on a losing spree. So you'll want to be careful, cognizant of your bullpen. It's September, so screw the eating up innings stuff. Let's take a look. See though. Yankees are up 8-3. Blue Jays are losing 1-3. Phillies are up 8-6. So we have McCann up with a 1-2 count. James McGround out 0-2 on the day. Strikeout and a pop fly earlier on this game. McCann will lay that one off. Pitch in the dirt. 2-2 count. Vince Velasquez is going to say the Phillies are winning, but the Pirates have bases loaded with 2 outs. Oh, wow. We will definitely have to keep an eye out on that game. So 2-2 count here from Lauer to McCann, and he will take that one. Fastball just above the zone, and McCann will lay that one off. Good eye. Full count here to McCann. And then you have Jeff McNeil on deck. So that could maybe, I don't know. Lauer sets the pitch. McCann will lightly foul that one off into the first base side. So we see Lauer really likes to pound that zone. He's a guy who likes to throw fastballs majority of the times. And, and I pretty much said, going into this game, Lauer is a guy, he's a left-handed pitcher. Mets struggle with left-handed pitching. He has low velocity. Mets struggle with low velocity pitchers, especially guys like Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo. And then he throws a fastball, which the Mets cannot hit a fastball for their life. And James McCann will strike out on that pitch, fastball or a slider up in the zone. So 2 away. Lauer has a 1-11 pitch count. So you would imagine if he gets out of this, this would be his night. Good slash line, though. Mets should have a department that they can go international and try to get players from Japan, Korea. Find the next Ohtani. That's a good point you bring up, Hector. So, and that's interesting because we know that during last offseason, I don't know if you guys remember Tomoyuki Sagano. He was a guy that was in the Nippon League that the Mets were hoping to go after, and the Mets didn't sign him, and he stayed there. And it's interesting you brought that up because now I know, the Wilpons, they didn't really look super much internationally. And it's good if you look internationally. I mean, we got at Francisco Alvarez from an international pick. But a lot of our international, look-ats were more in Latin America, the Caribbean. So I would really like the Mets to, like you said, set up departments more in Asia. Eastern Asia would be nice. So hopefully we could see that soon. And what just happened with McNeil? McNeil will hit that one. Adames will die for that, but he will not be able to make the catch. Nice hit there by McNeil. That is what I liked by Jeff McNeil. Yes, he didn't get the ball in the air. I mean, he didn't get the ball in the air clearly, but he was able to work out an 0-2 count, and he swings immediately on it. Good to see. That is clearly a hit there. I mean, that has to be a hit. Yeah, I mean, that has to be a hit. But yeah, like I said, that's what I hope to see out of the Mets is to start going live internationally. Like you said, Asia, Korea, Japan, pretty much Korea and Japan, I guess, would be the best places in Asia. So I agree. The Mets, and I know Steve Cohen said he wants to start looking in more Asia. But good there. And that will be the day for Lauer. Craig Counsell gives him the call. He is out of today's game. He will finish the slash line as of right now if no things change. 6.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. ERA, whip, and FIP took a nice little drop on the day for him. Solid outing for Eric Lauer on the day. Yeah, I agree with you, Hector. I really think that would be solid. Get a money slot from the DR. Imagine if we had Cohen when Ohtani was a free agent. Yeesh. That's the thing. People were asking if Cohen took over 2018, 2019, would we have signed Cole? Would we have signed Rendon? I mean, it really makes you think. Different story, like you said. Vince Velasquez is going to say Hector Neris slams his foot on the first base bag. Over the Braves are currently trailing the Pirates in the final inning. Uh-oh. Padres in the final inning. What's going on with them? So if the Phillies win, are they in first place now? Because the Braves just lost. Mets really don't have to do much. They just need to be creative. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, baseball is exciting like that. I mean, you have these cheap money ball teams like the Rays, the A's. They get the job done with spending no money. I mean, look at the Rays. I mean, I was speaking with someone today, and they're like, Hayden, I can't even name like one person on the Rays and how they go into the playoffs. I mean, they have a good – they rely deeply on analytics. I mean, they're Jonah Hills. They're 10 million Jonah Hills and Brad Pitts on their team pretty much. San Diego beats the Braves. Phillies are currently 1.5. Could end up 0.5 before tonight's over. Damn, that's crazy. So we have Jose Peraza coming in to the game. Let's see what he can get done. He will take that first pitch, and he will fly that out to Lorenzo Cain. First pitch, first swing to retire Peraza. So, yeah, so that will be Sutter. Obviously, the Mets got a walk-off against them last time I did a live stream, and we know how that was. Good live stream for us. Jeff McNeil hit a walk-off against him. So, yeah, we will see what Keith Hembry, who will likely probably still be in let's see who you got available on the – I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you got Castro, but he's a command issue merchant. You got Yenzi Diaz. Yenzi Diaz has been nice for us this season. I think someone asked me who's the most underrated player. You could arguably say Yenzi Diaz also. Hayden, look up minor leagues of Tampa Bay from AAA. Their teams are in first place. So what does that tell you? Their coaching is very solid. Yeah, I mean, they rely deeply on analytics. They thrive. I mean, they're money balls. We're all Jonah Hills there. They don't spend much money. And, I mean, imagine if they – I know they were talking about this offseason about having, like, some cap thing where teams have to spend, like, a certain amount. That would make them even better. It just goes to show you that, money isn't always the answer, but I think in most cases it is. Because, I mean, you look at how many winning seasons versus losing seasons have the Rays had so far. I mean, yeah, they've only been in existence so long, but it goes to show you. That's what the Mets need to do. They need to improve their coaching. Yeah, I agree. John's going to say, who's your top 3 free agents you want for next year? So we're going to go with Carlos Correa, Raisel Iglesias, and I'm trying to think who else is a free agent. I don't know. I have to do some research on the 2022 free agency class. So as of right now, we'll go with Carlos Correa and Raisel Iglesias. Raisel Iglesias, completely underrated pitcher in Anaheim. Raisel Iglesias is elite. The Angels picked him up, signed him to a deal. Personally, I don't think he will be staying. I'm trying to think how you spell his name. Shit. Raisel. I'll Google him later. No, I was going to Google and tell you some information about him, but whatever. So we are approaching 3 hours on the stream. So we will see what the Mets can get rolling on. Miguel Castro is in tonight. Yes, Max Scherzer is a free agent. You should start a call-in section. Yeah, I was actually debating about doing a nice little call-in section. Maybe during the off-season, we'll see if I do like a weekly stream. Having a little call-in section, I think, could be a strong possibility that I may look into. I know, obviously, Hector would obviously like to call in. I'm assuming he'd probably be my first caller. He'll get the special honors. I know Kobe said he would call in. Some of the other crew would call in, I know. So Miguel Castro here, 2-2 count so far. So we will see what he can get setting for the Mets. It's been a completely different pitcher the second half, we'll tell you that. He was a dude who had high expectations, nothing really crazy. Picked him up in Baltimore 2 trade deadlines ago. Been solid, nothing crazy. He will walk the ballpark, get into some command issues. Nice slider, nice changeup. I mean, sinker and changeup. But, you know, this is the stuff you see. Like right here, you almost hit Colton Wong on a pitch that was completely way off the plate. And then this is the stuff you get into. So you want the Mets to be able to control this. All right, so Willy Adames coming up for the Brewers. Mets killer today. 1-for-3, 2-run homer, dating back to the second inning. So that's how the Mets roll. That's how the Mets get the punches from Willy Adames. Castro delivers the pitch, and that'll be checked. And he did not go around, says the first base umpire. 1-0 count here from Castro to Willy Adames. You see, Willy Adames was a great acquisition from the Brewers starting off. He did cool down quite a bit, but now, I mean, so far we've been seeing he killed the dust today, so I guess he was successful in my eyes. Yeah, I mean, we saw the Rays got, what was it, like Rasmussen, I think, and another arm. I mean, the Rays can get any arm, and they'll transition into someone nice. Castro will take sinker once again in the dirt for McCann, who we'll see McCann working tonight with Castro. Hector, starting pitchers, or free agents. Yeah, I agree. And then Ibindos, I think that's how you say the name, says, should the Mets keep Jeremy Hefner? Yeah, honestly, Jeremy Hefner is really the only guy I would not fire this offseason. I mean, Hefner, I mean, you see what he's did to this team. I mean, you know, some of it in the second half, you could blame it on fatigue, but we see how well he works with DeGrom, how well he worked with Stroman, how well he worked with Syndergaard dating back. And Adames will hit that one from Castro to Baez. Baez will run into the outfield grass, and he will catch that for the first out, leaving Christian Yelich up. So you would like the Mets to go for a double play here. Christian Yelich has been a nice little double play machine this season. So that is definitely a strong possibility. But yeah, Jeremy Hefner is a guy I would definitely keep. Ibindos. Obviously, Hefner, great relationship with his pitchers. You see what he's done to this rotation, and even a lot of these young guys that even got called up for a game. Guys like Robert Stock or Hartley, Banda, Johnny Cueto, Gausman, Cobb, Ray, Davies. Yeah, I mean, Cueto could be a nice veteran presence. Obviously, the best option I would go for is Robbie Ray, but I think realistically, and there, Colton Wong is going to steal second, and McCann will not be able to get the throw down in time, nor will Lindor be able to get the tag down in time. So that'll be a stolen base on the books there for Colton Wong. Great slide there. Just missed him. He may have been out, but I don't think they're going to challenge, and I don't think he was either. Yeah, so obviously Robbie Ray has been awesome this season. Not really crazy. I mean, the Blue Jays, Robbie Ray has partially been a huge part of the Blue Jays' success when they're pitching. I mean, Blue Jays coming into the season, their pitching was not supposed to be good. Well, not that, but they weren't supposed to be carrying them. They were supposed to be the concern. Steven Matz has been providing a comfortable cushion. I mean, Robbie Ray's been putting Cy Young numbers up. Alek Manoah, great guy. I met him in person. I have a picture autograph of him. He's been having a nice Rookie of the Year performance, completely underrated in my opinion. And Yelich will drive that one to Alonso, ground ball, and Alonso will take that to first himself, and that'll advance Colton Wong to third. So you have 2 outs and a runner on third for Avisal Garcia. So let's see if Miguel Castro can get out of this without giving up a run. But yeah, Hector, those are some guys. I mean, Alex Cobb, I think, is okay. Nothing really crazy. I mean, Anaheim pitcher. Who else are we talking about? You said Wilmer Flores. Imagine. Just have him come back and just hit walk-offs for us. He could be a bench bat. Yeah, that's another guy that I think the Giants have, especially as a veteran presence. So we'll have to see. So Castro pits, and that'll be a nice slider just off the plate for Avisal Garcia. Yeah, I mean, so who else did you mention? You mentioned Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb, I think, honestly, Alex Cobb isn't horrific. He's a guy, I mean, 2020, I think he looked nice. He has a nice sinker. He has a split finger, which not many other guys, throw that. So that'll be something that I think will be interesting. I think that's his second and third primarily pitch. So we'll see how he reacts to that. He doesn't give up barrels, which I like. A lot of these Mets relief pitchers give up a lot of barrels. So I like Cobb. He doesn't give up many barrels, so that's always a plus. Has low velocity, but like we said, doesn't really contribute into stuff. Can have a walk issue and a command issue. So that's the only thing is you don't want to have another guy on this team with a walk and command issue. Otherwise, that's really all I could tell you about the guy. I'm not a Anaheim Angels pitching expert. Andrew Chafin's a free agent. Yeah, that is debating, obviously, if the A's are going to re-sign him. And Avisar Garcia drives that one. That was a barrel, and that will be caught by McNeil in left field to end the seventh. So the Brewers do strand Colton Wong on third base. They will go into the eighth inning with the Mets batting. So let's see what the Mets offense can get rolling for them tonight. All righty. Let's see. So Brent Sutter will be coming back on the mound to face the top of this Mets order. Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and Javier Baez. So let's take a look-see on what they're going to got. But please, everyone, if you are new, we are just approaching the 3-hour mark exactly. Mets games have been quite long recently, I've noticed. But please, if you are new to this channel or rewatching this on replay, smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, drop an LFGM in the chat if you're subscribed or enjoying the stream. Share this stream with your friends. The off season's coming up. We got a lot of great stuff. During the season, during the series previews and recaps and the Mets games, I am going over the MLB standings. So that's been really cool to watch, seeing them change. Each stream. You see the Blue Jays drop one and the Yankees pick up one, and I don't know. I'm not really liking how the standings are looking so far. Let's take a look, see about a drive around the majors. Yup. Pirates are about to lose, so Phillies are about to win. Phillies are up 8-6. Nationals and Reds are tied 7-7 and going into extras. Yankees are up against Boston 8-3. All right, we'll see. Astros are up 2-0. Dodgers won. All right, we will see. Quentin, LFGM, Nick, LFGM, of course. Mr. Blueberry, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning into the stream, Mr. Blueberry. Vince Velasquez, Greinke, Verlander, Kershaw, and Scherzer are all veteran free agents. Starter as well. I don't think they're going to sign. I don't think they're going to sign Verlander. He's coming off of Tommy John. He's a veteran. Yeah, he's a fine wine, but I don't know what he could offer. Personally, I think he's going to stay in Houston probably. And then he'll probably get another 1-year deal or something in Houston. Kershaw, he'll probably stay in Los Angeles as well as Scherzer. And Greinke has some stuff. Greinke is kind of a fine wine, in my opinion. He's a guy who, on this Mets team, could be a solid fifth-end starter. He's been solid this season. He's been giving up the long ball a lot, so that is one thing the Mets want to keep an eye on, obviously. The long ball is something you don't want to do. Gives up the long ball a little bit, but his swing and miss rate is getting up there. He's been looking solid. I don't think he would be a horrific signing. Tommy Pham is going to be on the market. I like his bat. Yeah, Tommy Pham isn't horrific. I mean, like I said, you want to go after outfield depth. So go after every single outfield depth as you could have. I mean, I don't mind having a super team. Nimmo will hit that one, and that'll be called off from Yelich to Adames, and Adames will make the catch to retire Nimmo on a pop fly to around the left shortstop center. Like I was saying, I don't mind having simply enough our I want this team to have so many players. Be like the Dodgers. You know, the Dodgers, their bench players are all-stars. You know, they had Max Muncy on the bench, Gavin Lux on the bench. These guys were, you know, having all-star seasons. So I don't mind having guys like McNeil on the bench for a week. You know, I don't mind to see that because it really goes to show how much, you know, stacked of talent this team is with. Not necessarily saying that's always the case, but for the most part, it is. So Francisco Lindor is coming up to the dish. Pretty much everyone on the Mets offense is really, really struggling. Lindor is 0 for 3 on the day, so it sucks to see. Kenley Jansen, yeah, I want no part of that, dude. I don't want another shady reliever. Lindor will hit that one. A little dribbler to the first baseman. Stutter will grab that, and he will retire Lindor. Lindor thinks he was safe, but he was clearly most likely out on that. And that will retire Lindor. 2-away for the Mets. Sutter getting a quick, easy start. He will be facing Javier Baez, who was also 0-3 on the day for the New York Mets. We've seen a lot of free swinging Baez, swinging at everything, being a free swinger this game. 3 strikeouts. What is that? The silver sombrero, the gold, whatever it's called. So let's see if he could try to get on base. Nice little walk. He will take that one just outside the zone. Ball 1. Hector says, don't know if you remember Hayden, but Arenado was a player option. Yeah, personally, I think he's going to stay in St. Louis. St. Louis is a great place to, I think, build up a career for a guy like that. Yeah, personally, I think he'll stay in St. Louis. It's a great team, great fan base, great place to build up a career. I mean, in Colorado, he didn't really have so much like that. I think he's going to want to get some of that here. Baez will rip that one, and that'll be an 0-2 count. Fouled off. So let's see. 1-2 count here. It's Javier Baez. That'll be taken high. Justin, 2-2 count. Good eye by Baez to avoid that pitch. Nick says, did you hear the DeGrom news? Do I want to hear the DeGrom news? I will look at it. And Baez will hit that one, and that'll go past the diving Adames, and that'll be a base hit for Baez. Good to see Javier Baez break that 0 for 3 slump. Good. Base hit. All right. Now Pete Alonso just needs to hit a home run, and then I'll be happy. And that'll be past a diving Escobar. Well, yeah, past the diving Adames into the left field. Yelich will grab that one. See that leg kick on that. Yeesh. I mean, you had Narvaez standing for that, so I don't know if there's some miscommunication with what they were throwing. So yeah, we will see. So let's see what Pete Alonso can get set for today. 0 for 3 on the day. Alonso takes that first pitch, and that'll be just off the corner, but for a ball. Good eye for Alonso to not take that. Nice fastball. Come on, Pete. You mash fastballs. Come on, Pete. I don't know. I just want Alonso to get a hit or something. Sutter will try to pick off Baez, but nope. Well, we got 13 people in the chat. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, as always. Nick says he threw 20 pitches today. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some research. Alonso will take that. Ball 2. All right, 2-0 count here to Alonso. Let's see. Let's check Twitter. It's the first thing on my Twitter. What do you know? Jacob deGrom threw 25 pitch side sessions this afternoon in Milwaukee, and he felt good. Luis Rojas said the Mets still have not decided what his next step will be. Yeah, I mean, you're just leave the dude shut down. Stop wasting this dude. Alonso will take that one. Ball 3 in the dirt. All right. Get a nice Pete walk. So obviously here you have a 3-0 count to Alonso. You're down by 4 runs, 2 outs. You give Alonso the swing. This is the swing sign here. Try to hit a nice Schmidt bomb. Alonso, oh, just got under that. He fouled that off, but that'll go way into the stands behind the plate. 3-1 count. Just a minute or two early on that. All right, 3-1 county to Pete Alonso from Sutter. The lefty sets the pitch. Alonso will once again fly that out into foul territory to the first baseman, Peterson, and that'll retire Alonso 0 for 4, or I guess, yeah, theoretically on the day. Mets, Brewers go into the bottom of the 8th. Mets have one more last licks into the 9th. Hector, I'm looking at the free agent lists of 2022 and more. And the name the Mets should look is Matt Carpenter. He's had a down year. I was going to say, hasn't he been out of like the league for 3 years or something? I don't know. I have to look at that. Phillies will win the game and they'll reach 80 wins. We'll see. Phillies are looking good. They really are. Mr. Cool Soto for MVP. I think he has a shot at this, right? He'll finish top 3, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he'll finish top 3. Soto's a guy who, I mean, it sucks that, you have to build around him now and he doesn't really have any people giving him support. Alrighty. Please, everyone, smash that like button as always. Let's get this channel out to more baseball fans. I know the stream is kind of depressing. I know I sound not super enthusiastic, but to be honest with you, I wanted to come on. I wanted to come on here. I wasn't really feeling super great today. I was tired, but I said, you know what? I still got to come on here. Keep up the Mets' terrible morale, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. It definitely does mean a lot. So, yeah, Miguel Castro we'll see. I do not think he will get the 8th inning, the bottom of the 8th. Last time for the Mets pitching rotation to work. Hector says, do you play baseball? I did play in high school. I did play in high school. I was pretty much a light hitting second baseman. So I hit a lot of BABIPs. My swing was not very great. I was not really an offensive piece. I was a defensive piece. My swing wasn't that great. It was more my defense that was valued. Double plays. I had very quick hands, as a lot of people said. Quick hands, quick hands. So we will have Edwin Diaz coming into the 8th inning. Okay, I don't know what to say about this. Edwin Diaz coming into the 8th inning. Okay. I'm guessing they're trying to give him some innings pitched because he hasn't pitched in a while because the Mets haven't been winning in a while. So there's no need for a closer. So that's interesting. So let's see if Diaz can get something rolling. Okay. Ed lose, LOL. That's weird. Yeah, pretty much, Nick. As we could see, the National League East, the Phillies are a game back, and I think if the Braves lose game 2, they have a shot of being 0.5 in between. Phillies are on a 4-game win spree. That's something. So Edwin Diaz is coming out with a slider. He's going all over the place. Well, not really. It's getting close to the strike zone, but not exactly on. So you would like him to be able to try to keep command of the slider. Ooh, that's what you like. A nice swing and a miss there. A nice slider, 89 miles per hour. Off the corners. Nice swing and a miss there by Omar Narvaez. That's what you like to see. That is what you like to see, in my opinion. 2-2 count. And Narvaez will go down, swinging on strike 3. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is what you like to see. Marvelous. All right, strike 1 there. All right, Diaz is Diaz is showing something. Are you going to stream the remaining game, says Brad? Possibly. I may stream another game or two. We'll see. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully I'm not boring you too much. I know typically it's more exciting, but the Mets are just losing, so there's nothing to be exciting about. And I'm deadbeat tired today, but, still want to come in here and talk with you guys. Diaz loses the command with that slider a little bit off the plate. 2-2 count there. Or a 3-1 or 2-1 count there, yeah. To Eduardo Escobar. Yeah, so we'll see, Brad, possibly. I definitely do want to stream some playoff games. So I'll be like Blue Jays talk with Hayden, Brewers talk with Hayden. Show us your batting stances, Kobe. Yeah, in between innings, I'll get up so that way I can full screen it. Yeah, I can show you my batting stance. I don't want to swing, though, because my hands are all, slippery. I don't have any. Ooh. Eduardo Escobar, we're just get a tip of that to stay alive. Still 2-2 count. Yes, sir, Brad. Yes, sir. So Edwin Diaz sets the pitch. And that'll be hit by Escobar. Nimmo will shift in, and that'll be caught by Nimmo. 2 away. So nice quick outing here for Diaz so far. 11 pitches, 7 of them were strikes. So I guess it shows you the command is kind of there. I mean, you see Diaz, he doesn't really throw many pitches in the zone, but his stuff's so nasty. Great movement, inches, break, drop. His stuff really changes. So we will see what Diaz can get done against Jace Peterson. Who take that first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. So obviously for the Mets, you're hoping for a 9th inning comeback, which is looking pretty rare. Depending who they're going to put in, it is most likely Josh Hader. I don't see why they would put in Devin Williams. I mean, I don't think he's had much time since they haven't really been winning much. But who knows? We will have to see. So that'll be strike 2. So Diaz is occupying that slider, 3 sliders in a row. We've been seeing this slider as something Diaz is struggling with. So I guess he's trying to work with it, which makes sense. You want to work with that. Do you stream? Nah, just baseball, Brad. Just baseball. Pretty much just a baseball guy for the most part. I follow other sports, but I'm not more of a casual in it, if you could say. Diaz gets that just off the corner for strike 3, 99 miles per hour. The velocity is there, my friend. Diaz gets out of that one. Mets will go into the top of the 9th. Last licks for the Mets. Brewers trying to finish this out. 3 outs to go for the Brewers. For the one and only dangerous and deadly Josh Hader. Mets were able to get to Hader last time, but that was at Citi Field. So we're going to have to see, can the Mets get him this time again with a bigger lead? Let's see. You tell me. So leading off, we will have Michael Conforto, Jonathan VR, and James McCann. So let's see if the Mets can really get a miracle here, although the options to that are pretty small. So yeah, let's see. Hope for a miracle. Josh Hader will be coming in for the Milwaukee Brewers. And I am going to show you guys my stance, actually, because I did promise you I'd show you my batting stance. So, yeah. So usually, for the most part, typically with my stance, usually my stance isn't anything crazy. I usually like to grip the bat up like here. Hands are all sweaty, so I don't want to lose it. So usually, yeah, I kind of leave my back foot kind of pretty solid level. I leave my front foot kind of on an angle, kind of stand up like this. Leave the back arm kind of flat, front arm, whatever, elevated. Kind of stand like this, hover. Nothing crazy. I know it's a wood bat. My hands are all sweaty. I don't want to swing it and drop it. So we will see. So we have Michael Conforto coming up for the New York Mets. See what he can get done. So Josh Hader's coming in. Josh Hader is an elite left-handed closer. Elite left-handed closer. I mean, just look at these dudes' stats. I mean, 4-2 on the season. I mean, 33 saves, 92 strikeouts, 53 innings pitched. That's wild. I mean, that whip, it's crazy. It really is. So let's see. It would take a miracle here now. So Josh Hader will be coming in for the Mets, for the Brewers. So let's see. But yeah, as we can see, 55 games this season, 1.34 ERA. He's only blown one save. And who is that against? The Mets. So that would be pretty unfortunate if he does it again today. I mean, it'd be good for me, but unfortunate for the Brewers. He's only allowed 3 home runs this season. One of them was by the one and only Jose Peraza. So, yeah, let's see. He's a guy who has, I mean, you say that's a lot of walks, but then you look at the strikeout rate, and then you can't really argue with that. You ever get into wiffle ball? I mean, like, not, I mean, yeah, like when I was a kid, yeah, like you said, when you were growing up, yeah, I mean, I always like played like on the streets with my friends with football or in my backyard when I was a kid, I guess. So 2-0 count here into Michael Conforto already from Hader. Fastball doesn't really be looking to locate the zone too great. That'll be just inside 2-1 count here already. Doesn't look like a... That's an arguable call. But we got 9 people in the chat. LFGM, appreciate everyone for tuning into the stream. That was a weird... Ooh, that was some heat. That was like a weird Cueto windup. Delivery. Nice. Pounded that fastball down the zone. 95. So 2-2 count here for Conforto. So once again, Conforto's trying to stay alive. 2-2 count. That's what you could do. If you're in this jam, Conforto, try to work up Hader. Keep that pitch count up for him. Try to get on base. Conforto will once again fly that one off for a foul ball. That is what you like to see. Just, keep the bat alive. Keep the bat alive. And that'll be taken. Ball 3. All right, so a full count to Conforto. Conforto's having a good at bat. Great eye coordination. He's keeping these pitches good. Three-two count here from Hader to Conforto. That'll be fouled off once again. So we have Conforto almost working into a double-digit at bat right here, and that's really what you like to see, honestly. Put in Peraza. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. I'm going to leave this up because it's probably going to happen. Conforto hits that one, and that'll be hit to Yelich. 1 away. 2 outs left for the Mets. Hector says stance was good. Less movement on the bat. Yeah. Keeps the bat level. Campbell focus on the pitch. Yeah, that's why in high school I was not a hitter. I was a defensive guy. I mean, I had one walk-off. It was a freaking BABIP. Pretty much it was in extra innings. And the center fielder on the other team was really fast. He was like rapid fast. And I hit like a BABIP single off the end of the bat, and it spiked into the outfield. And Jonathan Villar hit that one foul. And it kind of like spiked into the outfield. So when I hit it, it hit the end of the bat. And it got lucky. It was a lucky corner hit. And it went into the air, and it was a BABIP. It went into the outfield. And the center fielder, I mean, I guess he kind of got cocky, like dove for it. And because he dove for it, I'm guessing he overran it. And then the ball pretty much collapsed, like fell a little bit before his glove. VR will take that one, 0-2. Oh, I was nervous as hell when I was in that situation. What do you mean? Everyone was looking at me, videotaping me. The winning run was on second. 2 outs. I was nervous as hell. And it was so – and they scored it as a hit. But, I mean, let's be real. If this was the MLB, it would have been like an error. It would have been an E8. Honestly, I don't know if I consider it an error. I mean, because the kid pretty much – I explained it shitty before. He got cocky and he went to, like, slide for it where he basically could have just, like, scooped it or stuck his glove out. He got cocky and, like, dove for it. And then he, like – because he overdove it and, like, went in between his feet. And then, yeah, damage was done. Jay, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning into the stream. I see your Nationals. I think we're putting on a fight before. And VR will go down swinging on a pitch outside of the zone. Not the best at bat, not the best at days for Jonathan VR. What's going on, Jay? I appreciate you tuning in. What's going on with your Nationals? Extra innings. All right. Nationals talk with Hayden, maybe? Brewers hack, because we're Brewers talk with Hayden. We're watching the Mets and Brewers game. Brewers talk with Hayden today. So Brewers fans, they're on their feet. They're excited. They're pumped up. Mets are 1 out away with James McCann at the plate. He will take that first pitch just off the zone, 83. Nice slider for Josh Hader off the zone. Hader's doing some like wiggly stuff. I don't know what that is, but whatever works his wind up. McCann hits that one, going back to the track, and that'll be on the warning track, and Lorenzo Cain will grab that to end the game. James McCann hit that one pretty solid, but that was not able to get out. That is the ball game. Game is over. Ooh, that was not a good game. Yikes. That is a game you do not like to see. Mets lose this game 5-1 against the Brewers offense, which the Brewers offense was slumping. They weren't on a winning spree, clearly. That is tough. Players look upset. I don't blame them. I mean, you give up offensive production at Yelich and everyone who's slumping. Not a good game for the Mets, as we could see. Mets lost today 1-5. Mets are officially 73-80, so I don't think they're mathematically eliminated yet. I think tomorrow they would be. So you don't like to see that at all. Very, very tough. 73-80. Brewers advance 62, 92-62. Brewers, they went for the long ball this game. You had Colton Wong had a home run, 14th of the season. Willie Adames had a 2-run homer in the second inning for his 23rd of the season. And you had Christian Yelich really get out of his slump today and had a home run, a triple, and was a double and a single try shy of the cycle. You had Eric Lauer, who tied his career high in strikeouts at 9 strikeouts. He was eligible for the win. 6.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, a run, two walks, 9 strikeouts, pitched pretty good. Tough outing. McGill gets the loss, 2-hour and 56-minute game. Tough loss for the Mets, only 4 hits. It's tough, really is tough. But I do appreciate everyone for tuning into today's stream. We are going to call it a stream here momentarily. If anyone else has any more comments, questions, statements, or concerns, please feel free to tune them in. I really do appreciate everyone for tuning into the stream. I wasn't really feeling necessarily great today. So I do appreciate that. It made me feel better coming on here to talk to you guys, as always. Otherwise, we're just going to have to see how the Mets go ahead. Clearly, season's really over for the Mets, but I will definitely be doing some more game streams, obviously, for the playoffs. I will like if the Blue Jays make it. Maybe I'll stream some of their games, Rays. I'll definitely do some playoff games. I'll stream some. Maybe I'll get some other people on here, some YouTubers. I'll maybe ping the link in the chat if maybe some call-in sections or something. So we're going to see how that goes. I appreciate everyone for tuning in as always. Everyone for tuning into the stream. Brad, Devin, Kobe, Michael, YouTube, AB, Jay, Hector, Alexander, Connor, Vince Velasquez, Mr. Cool, Quentin, Nick, John, Devin, Kobe, Hayden, Mark, CR Studios, Alyssa. I really appreciate it. Zach, Paul, Eric, Alex, Karen, you guys rock. I appreciate all you guys. If I forgot your name, you're awesome too. I appreciate you tuning in. If you want, follow me on all my social medias. As you can see, my Twitter @MetsHayden. That is the best way to follow me. Message me on there. Talk baseball, whatever you guys want to talk. Follow me on Instagram, Hayden_Jerglowitz, and of course, Snapchat, Hayden JJ5. Twitter is the best way to message me. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for tuning into the stream. If anyone else, comment, whatever. I appreciate it, Brad. Means a lot, of course. Listen, regardless, Mets are not doing well. I get that. You know what? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to give my honest takes. I'm not going to sit here and be a cheerleader for the Mets and say, oh, it's okay. You'll get them. No. I'm going to come on here and say what we saw and what I did not like. Pretty much we saw the Mets could not hit against the Brewers pitching staff. Makes sense. That's why they're going to the playoffs, because their pitching staff, not because of their offense for the most part. And Mets weren't able to get it done. McGill really struggled out there today. He lost command of the zone, and the long ball has been an issue for him. He's been giving up a lot of home runs in the last 3 games he's played in. So the long ball's been an issue for him. Command of the strike zone, the off-speed pitch, and mixing up his pitches. Those have been some things for him. He looks fatigued. I get it. He hasn't pitched as many innings, even when he was in the minor leagues. I get that. That's what went wrong with McGill tonight. Mets offense was not there. Baez was striking out at everything. 3 strikeouts on the day for Baez. Alonso didn't look super great out there tonight. Nimmo didn't look super great. So it really sucks to see. But you know what? Regardless, what else is there to do? I mean, sitting here raging about it isn't going to help. But like I said, I'm not going to come on here and be cheerleaders and say, oh, it's okay, Mets. I'm going to give my honest opinions like I said about McGill, like I said about this Mets offense. I'm a big Pete Alonso fan. But, when Pete Alonso goes 0 for 10, I'm going to get on him. I'm going to say what's going on with him. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, but this and expect it. No, I'm going to say how I feel. Of course, like you said, true fans finish to the end. Better moments ahead, hopefully. And like you said, you get these moments. They suck. But you know what? When the Mets win a World Series, whether that's a year from now or 100 years from now, it'll be much worth it. Hopefully, we don't start a whole other drought of a World Series drought. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for tuning into the stream as always. Like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Tough outing for the Mets. They are playing tomorrow. The Mets will be playing tomorrow. Let's see who's on the bump for the Mets tomorrow quickly, and then we will depart and call it a night. Let's see. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow's game, we will have Rich Hill on the bump against Corbin Burns. Okay, yeah, game's over. It's gonna be a game. All right. Well, we battled. That's what the famous Mickey Callaway would say. So I appreciate everyone for tuning into today's stream. Before we head out, turn on those post notifications, like, comment, subscribe, all of that great stuff. I really appreciate everyone for tuning into today's stream. We are almost at 500 subscribers, so please, if you can, let's get to 500 subscribers. I would say before the off season starts, but I think that may push it. But who knows? Maybe we'll see. If you guys can help me, we will see. So that's all we could do. Appreciate everyone for tuning into this stream. We're gonna call it a stream here. Till next time, baseball fans. See ya. Let's go Mets, guys. Let's go Mets.